make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 250 miles above your imagination from the International Fake Station. I'm up here with my good friend and co-host Something Wong, and he is here to make sure that we fly straight and level across this beautiful plane of ours that we call Earth. How is everyone this evening? It's good to see all these lovely people in the audience. Look at their, right off the bat, a lot of the regular cast of characters, the familiar suspects, so to speak. We got Jehovah's Daughter Barbara, In Rem, Mentally Divergence here, Brad Tasha. We got In Rem. Now, is that Brad and Natasha? I see two people in the picture. Is Brad, is Tasha the last name? I'm assuming it's the two in the thing together, maybe. I don't know. Let me set me straight. In Rem, we got here Chicago Cubby Bears. There's David. Well, that's kind of general. Everybody's got all these cool names, David. What's up with that, yo? Get creative with your names, son. Oh, my God. So, anyway, who else we got up in here? Wake Up America and Resist. Love it, love it, love it. Let's see. Jehovah's lovely daughter, Barbara. She's all over in here just welcoming the shit out of everybody that comes in. And that's just fantastic. We love that. Let me see. Did I miss anybody? Unindoctrinated. We got the true few. Jim Annis. Just kidding. Marcy Chan. Is it Annis? I don't know. I need pronunciation lessons, please, on some of these things. I'm liable to do Beavis and Butthead things if I'm not careful. We got the true fuse with us here tonight. Hey, there's Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. He said, oops, yeah, I sent the wrong thing. There's Valley Parks. I killed a spider with my sidearm. There you go. There you go. There, nice, nice. And a little bit of overkill. A little bit of overkill, but hey, if it works, it works. So how's that work out? I would imagine that it get to be kind of expensive killing bugs that way, but that's cool. Let's see. Let's you got Marcy Chan with us here. Chaos Code. We got all these great people. So listen, I made some people freaking melt down on Facebook today, and once again, the link is to come up on panel is pinned in the, it should be in the description. I know it's pinned up in the top of the chat. So, you know, feel free to come on board and anything. But anyways, what I did was, okay, so they were talking, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go. God damn it. It's going to reboot on me. I already know it. Son of a bitch. Hold on, here we go, catching up. All right, Jesus, now it's showing my internet connections is shitty and everything else. Of course, every time I start to do a stream, everything's fine until I start to do a fucking stream. Hold on, here we go, catching up. All right, Jesus, now it's showing my internet connection. All right, I think I'm. I'm muted. Fuck. Why is this doing this to me? Jesus, criminally. Hold on a second. Let me look. Did this thing, when I hit that gravity pocket, did it fuck up all my stuff? I'm muted. It did. It did. Why it did. Doing this to me? Jesus, criminally. Hold on a second. Let me look. Did this thing, there we go. There we go. I fixed it. It did. It did. It did. There we go. We got it fixed. There we go. There we go. I fixed it. There we go. God, this was retarded. I don't know what the hell is going on here. We got it fixed. Why am I still hearing myself? There we go. Where am I hearing myself at? I don't know what the hell is going on here. All right, I got to fix this. Hold on a second. Why am I still hearing myself? Let me go out of this. Hold on. There we go. Where am I hearing myself? There, have we fixed this problem yet? I think we may have. Everybody hear me okay? There, have we fixed this? Oh, that's where that was. It was on my fucking phone. Jesus. I think we may have. Oh my God, it won't shut off. Everybody hear me okay? There. That's where it was coming from my phone. I copped on there. Oh my God. I was hearing an echo. Set my phone down.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Matt. I got you.
Okay.
I was hearing an echo because I had it on my phone too. Because when I had that gravity pocket, I went out and I picked up my phone and went into chat and say I'd be right back. Right. So I don't know. Wow. Smoke some more, Dave. Jesus.
Oh, I couldn't hear you the entire time.
No way.
Was connecting. Yeah.
See, they're fucking with my shit. I never use this mute button on the screen. I always use the one on my microphone. And this goddamn thing somehow put me back to my default microphone, which is shitty. It's the one that's in the camera. I don't know, man. Why don't I just stay the way you have it? These computers are designed, I think, to piss you off, man. They really are.
Yeah, they definitely are.
So anyway, I was trying to say, you see the name of this tonight. It says, "Don't force me to wait," because these people melted down. I says, well, if you take your formula, right? Does everybody know what the formula for force is? Does anybody know what the formula for force is? Okay, I'm going to bring it up for you. And real quick. Let's see. Oops. Got to type that in. I had all this up, but then I had to go. Okay. Let me view this image. Okay, so everybody knows this right here. Is the what the fuck, man? There we go. Okay. Force equals mass times acceleration. Okay. Now keep that in mind. Now we want to know, what is the formula for weight, right? So I'm going to bring this up. And I want to go into this just so I can get a graphic for you. Oh, all right. Right there. Now, just a sec. And we're going to bring up this one. Weight equals mass times G, which G is what? Acceleration.
Yeah.
It's acceleration due to gravity. Okay. Now you remember the other one for force was what? Force equals mass times acceleration. So if my acceleration rate is 9.8 meters per second squared, in both of those equations, that means that F and W are equal, doesn't it? And therefore, what? Weight is calculatable as a force. Am I wrong?
Man, this is the entire reason I called in tonight. Well, it was because I was trying to watch one of those upward rising Earth debates. I finally sat down and tried to watch one and listen to it. And as I was sitting there listening to it, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, you know what? This is so foolish. I think I'm going to start my own new cult, and we're going to be the downward falling Earth.
Yeah.
And what it is that the Earth below us, the mass is so big that it actually causes resistance and allows us smaller objects on top of it to fall faster because we're in thinner air.
Right.
So doesn't that make just as much sense as the crap they're spewing?
Well, the crap that the thing is, here's the problem. One of the biggest ones, and this is like an Achilles heel on that, because 9.8 meters per second squared is an average. It's not ever exactly the same. So it's not really a constant. It's treated as a constant, although it's an agreed upon average. So that would mean that the Earth is continuously going faster and slower in different places all the time, which would not be possible, or would be feeling fucking earthquakes and shit continuously, or something would be. I mean, that would be definitely noticeable, I think. So if it's going, a certain guy over here measures the gravitational constant, and this guy over here measures it over here, the drop rate. Well, this guy got a faster rate than this guy. What's that mean? That this side of the Earth is going up faster than this guy? Or what how's that work? No, it doesn't. It falls apart. And there's no interferometry that can detect this movement. So I think they're actually in if it all hinges on a fucking water bubble in free fall, and it's just a misunderstanding of not knowing what zero net forces are.
Either free fall or free float.
Yeah, free up. Yeah, there you go. The Earth rising up.
Free float or free fall. Like either way, like either they take their math, you could put it to the negative and say the same thing. Now,
Right.
what's Occam's razor say? It says we're still and we're not moving.
Exactly. That's where I'm at with it. Let me just message the wife real quick. Hang
Out
on,
your
man.
window there, you can see my steam-powered satellite.
What's that? What's going on, Faceplant? Hello,
I said,
can't hear
look
you.
out the window, you can see my steam-powered satellite.
Your
I'm
steam
up
powered.
in orbit to fix the Hubble.
Oh yeah, I see it out there. I see that. What's wrong with that damn Hubble this time?
You gotta adjust the cameras.
Oh yeah,
I got
that's
the
always-
Canadarm on the. Got the Canadarm up there trying
was
to.
it cosmic dust? Oh no, what happened? He dropped out. So how is it if there we go. Now you got it. Wow, I don't know what happened to you, bro. And you don't have an avatar. All right. No, so am I off with that? I mean, if you look at that, then weight is actually a force. Now, what is the actual thing that's going on with the weight? What constitutes the weight?
Well, I'm with
Right?
you with the disequilibrium of the medium that you're in.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the thing. Like, even if you're going up, down, whatever, change the medium that you're in. Are you going to have the same results? No, you're not.
No, never. Never. You can't. You cannot have the same results. And that's what it's dependent on. And there again, they say, well, if you drop something in a vacuum, well, first of all, you don't have a true vacuum. There's no such thing. All you've done is made a very, very, very thin medium. That's all.
Yeah, less
You've reduced the
pressurized
density
system.
of the medium. And of course, the object is much denser than the medium that it's displacing. It's not rocket science, man. It's pretty simple. So if we increase the density of the medium, we can actually change the weight.
And
of the
it's so
object.
funny because you compare it to rocket science and it's basic physics. It's basic physics.
Right. It is. Absolutely. And this is what cracks me up is I get these people, they say, whoa, show me your flat earth physics. And I'm like, there's no such thing as flat earth physics. There's no such thing as it's just physics. Okay. This physics is the study of physical phenomenon that we observe. Oh, there it is. That's what it is. It doesn't have some kind of a denotation of flat earth physics, like suddenly things we observe are different happening. You know, I don't understand where these people
And that's
come
the thing. It's observation. It's not
Mhm.
a theoretical, you know, whatever. It's not a theoretical idea.
There's
It's
no
observation.
thrust, and no combustion in a vacuum. They
Well,
proved
no.
it by pumping the air out of a box, and the fan wouldn't blow the feather anymore, and there's no oxygen, so there's no combustion.
I think I've got a video of them trying
In a
to.
vacuum.
It's a small rocket in a vacuum, and it's done with a high-speed camera, and you don't even see. Let me see. Where would I put that? I think it'd be on my desktop. You don't even see. It doesn't even begin to move until after enough gas is expelled out of this little rocket to actually provide a medium for it to push against.
Yeah, it creates its own atmos inside the container.
Right. And so it just sits there for a second, and then all of a sudden it starts to move.
And it's just slightly too. It's just slightly. It
Mhm.
slightly moves. It's not.
So
And
I've
seen where
even
they
just
they
begun,
put the feather in front of the fan and you
Right.
suck the air out and then you turn the fan, like you turn the fan on with it being pressurized, and then you suck the air
Right.
out, and I think they only get to like 2 pounds or something, like -2 pounds inside the container. It may be less than that, but like at a vacuum point, you blow the fan to the feather and the feather doesn't even move. It just stays stationary.
yeah, it doesn't move. There's no medium to move, and that brings you to. They say Mars has a 1 to 6% atmosphere of that of Earth. This is their claim. So you want to tell me how you got a little remote control helicopter to fly around?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't care how fast you spin those rotors. There's not enough medium to lift the object. It's just not going to happen. This is why helicopters on Earth have a ceiling. They can only get to a certain
Yeah.
altitude before they start to stall out. They have no more lift.
And that's why when they, like, you see a helicopter go over the edge of a cliff, it all of a sudden has this dramatic drop. It's because it doesn't have like
Only
the
if
ground
it's
and the
near
medium to
it-
push up on.
Only if it's near at the elevation of if it's above the cliff high enough, it has no drop.
Yeah, it don't bother nothing. It don't. It
Does,
don't.
does
But
it
if it's
not?
near the
I thought it does.
No, if it's
No.
near the ground level when the cliff drops off, yeah, you will have a little bit of drop, but it'll catch itself right up. Helicopters don't fly in wind because I've done extensive research on helicopters, and helicopters to fly create a vacuum above them, which creates the lift. At the same time, it blows the air it's sucking from above them, below them to create the lift. And it's got vortices out on the outside of the props that refrain the exterior winds outside of their environment from blowing the lift and the vacuum away. That's how they fly.
Well, the blade also has kind of a gyroscopic effect to it too. It's why they have it so that it can do like this on in the top too, because of that gyroscopic effect that blade rotating around actually has.
Yeah, that's how they move around too, is by that, being able to control that. What I'm here for tonight, Dave, is I did a video on Dell on his bubble drop.
Yeah.
And you can see what happens in that when he allows the bubble to start to rise and he drops that container. The pressure of the water dropping faster goes above the bubble and holds it down.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it. I did a video on that, but also I was doing his comment section and I got real extensive into the amount of speed the human body grabs as it accelerates. And I said, okay, you have two lovers that are on a cliff, a real high cliff. And the one lover says, well, I can't take you seeing other people anymore. And he dives off the cliff and he gains 32 feet per second.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's falling for 5 seconds and the woman decides that she can't live without him. So she jumps off the cliff. And in this 1 second, this woman is falling 32 feet per second at the same exact spot on Earth, the rising Earth thing. This guy's, the Earth is right, whatever, he's going fucking 79 miles an hour. And she's dropping 30. It don't calculate, it don't work. That's plain and simple fact.
Yep. I'm working on a thing. I'm listening, but I'm working on a thing out here a graphic to kind of show you. We got faceplant. You stay put now. You got to learn to stay put, man. No. So what this is what I was arguing with somebody is that weight could be considered a force based on the force formula. Okay. And here's why I say that. Let me see. This. Okay. So y'all see that, right? So here's the formula for force. Force is mass times acceleration, right? In other words, how fast it's going. And if I say A is equal to 9.8 meters per second squared. Now, weight is mass times what they say gravity, G. But if you look at what the definition of G, it says acceleration due to gravity, which is a speed still 9.8 meters per second squared. So the calculation right here of both of these is exactly the same. Weight is a force by the definition of the formula for force. Regardless of what's causing or you perceive as causing the acceleration, it's still acceleration, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this W equals M times G could actually also just be W equals m times a. It's the same.
You look at it this way. You put a 10-pound ball of lead on solid ground and it sits there. You put a 10-pound ball of weight on a mattress and it forces itself into the mattress.
Right. But it's still exerting 10 pounds of weight.
Yeah.
As a force. There's still
Yeah.
a force. Now they want to say, well, that's due to gravity. Well, prove it's due to gravity. Because if I change the density ratio of the medium to the object, I'm definitely going to change the weight of the object. I'm going to change the acceleration of G.
Absolutely. It's like weighing 10 pounds in water and weighing 10 pounds in air, the same 10 pounds.
Right, right. Well, even a better thing, you take a plastic milk jug, right? And you have it full of water. That's 1 gallon of water. That's about 8.5. I think it's 8.4 pounds. Okay. So let's put that jug of water into water. Now what's it weigh?
Inside the water,
Yeah.
it still weighs 8.5 pounds, but it's in the medium of water. So there's no force.
Right. So
applying
there's
down
no,
to it. It's
right.
buoyant in the water.
Right. So the medium is dependent upon the weight. The weight is
Don't you-
dependent upon the medium. In order, the ratio of the medium to the object is what determines the weight.
Don't you weigh less on a mountaintop than you do in the valley?
I don't know. I've never climbed up on a mountain and took a scale with me. I don't know anybody who ever has.
The thing about it is,
but I do
like,
know this. I do know this real quick before you go. I do know this, that an object will weigh heavier as you decrease the air in like a vacuum chamber or a VLP environment. So if you put a scale inside of a vacuum chamber and set an object on it, and then as you reduce the air, remove the air from the chamber, the object will actually gain weight.
so think about a suction cup. There's no such force as suction.
No,
There's
it's
no
outside
there's
air.
no suction in between the glass and the suction cup. If you
Nope.
turn it upside down, it stays there. It's the atmospheric pressure pushing on the outside of it that makes it stick.
Right.
So if an object's sitting on the ground, there's no atmospheric pressure pushing from underneath it. But as soon as you lift it off the ground, there is atmospheric pressure pushing all around it.
Yes. It's in a state of disequilibrium. Where is it getting its energy to move? By you putting it in a state of disequilibrium by lifting it up. Now there's the potential energy. And when you release it,
I collect rainwater and I have tanks around the yard, and I have hoses, garden hoses hooked up to them, and they equalize automatically.
your audio is really chopping up really bad.
And that water goes up. That water goes up the hose, then it goes down along the ground, and then goes up again, and then down again.
I can't understand.
I can't make out what you're saying.
Dude, you're breaking up, chopping all over the place. Your audio is I don't know. It was good, and then it just went right in the toilet. So I don't know. But yeah, I had a guy really just losing his fucking mind on me about that right there. And he says, no, it's due to gravity. I says, how did you establish that the acceleration downward was due to gravity? Where did you get that from? And they just can't fucking go. But it's a law. I said, how can you have a law on something that you don't even have? That's stupid. It'd be like having the law of leprechaun shit. You know, is there any leprechaun shit? No. Well, then why do you have a law on it? I don't get it.
Gravity's never been proven to be a law. It's
No.
still a theory.
These
There ain't
people.
one of them. Go ahead, Dave.
I was going to say they almost like they start deifying these people that postulated this shit based on the antiquity and how often these people are cited. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, wait a minute. If the best proof, which isn't proof, that I had of gravity was some janky ass contraption from the 18th century, I'd be goddamn embarrassed. We're in the 21st century. We're a quarter of the way into the 21st century, and the best you got is some janky ass contraption from the 18th century. Get the fuck out of here.
Absolutely.
Man. And they'll just hold on to it like a dog with a bone because it was beat into their head somewhere in school. They don't even know that ain't what Cavendish wasn't trying to prove, mass attracting mass. He was trying to calculate the mean density of the Earth.
Sphere is the only reality that can be proven by effects, theories, and mathematics.
Yeah.
How do they tell us that our technology has advanced like so much in the last 200 years and that we are the most advanced that we ever was, but these guys 2,500 years ago were smarter than we are.
And how do we know it was really 2,500 years ago?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a double negative. It's
That's
like,
what they told us.
we in the last 200 years, we've progressed way more than they have, but 2,500 years ago, this guy knew way more than we did.
Well, yeah, I mean, and they always wanted to, when it was 2,500 years of science. And I'm like, wait a minute, what are you fucking talking about, right? And then they want to talk about Aaron Krusty Knees, right? And I'm like, wait a second. He didn't discover the Earth to be a sphere. He went into it with the reaffirmation of it being a sphere. He already went into it believing it was a sphere and just was trying to measure how big it was.
So we're going to stick a stick down in the ground right here and measure the shadow, and I'm going to go 2,500 miles away and measure the difference. We're going to triangulate the sun, and that's going to be what we go with because we know the Earth is 24,901 miles around.
Sure.
So this is going to tell us our rate of curvature.
We're going to talk through our tin can string walkie-talkies.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know. And this is the thing is when they just go into this, start going into this circular logic, constantly going into it with just reaffirming the consequence. Everything they go, well, look at the sky. And they'll say, Jupiter, look at Jupiter. It's a gas giant. And I'm like, oh, how do you know it's a gas giant? Well, you can tell it's made up of gases. And I said, well, what's keeping those gases from mixing together into a mixture? Why are they all separate? And how come they have distinct colors? What gases are they that have these colors that just don't seem to want to mix together? They just want to dumb shit.
They tell us these gases are there and they're circling around and they're changing positions and stuff, but the same picture we get from Jupiter from 20 years ago is the same picture we get now.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. What's preventing these different gases from mixing together? We have what? All these gases that we're breathing right now. We got carbon dioxide, we got oxygen, we got nitrogen, right? Those are three primary ones. What color are they? Anybody see a color to them? No.
They look clear to me. I'm just saying.
They all look pretty clear to me. They don't look and you know what? You don't walk out of a patch of oxygen into a patch of nitrogen and then into another patch of carbon dioxide. They're all mixed together uniformly. My God, these people will believe anything that's put in front of them. I think somebody just took a picture after pouring it. You want to know what it looks like? It looks like somebody used a round lens and took a picture of a piece of wood. And that's what I think that they use, man.
Yeah.
With a little knot on it. With a little funny knot on it. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Jupiter.
I mean, that's as good as that. And you never see it looking like that. You see it resembling that kind. Everybody's seen for centuries this red dot on it. And how come that's never petered out? That defies the laws of entropy right there. That should have equalized a long time ago.
It's probably a little piece of cedar. They took a little circle picture of a piece of cedar.
Yeah. I can believe that. Look at this thing showing my internet looking fucked up. Everything's still good, right? Cool.
Your audio's good. You're kind of choppy, like you're
freezing here and there.
Yeah, I can see. They're just wow. Yeah, I don't know what their deal is. Now it's fairly good. Now it's unstable. Now it's fairly good. They can't figure out what the fuck to do. Here we are in the 21st century again. Like I said, 21st century, pinnacle of technology. Here we are, baby. Let's get it done, right? Can't keep the fucking lights on even, man.
We're up to 5G and we still can't get a decent rate. Still can't get good.
What they say, you'd be able to download like 500 movies in a second or some shit like that. Hell, I ain't got no increase in nothing.
It's the same stuff, the same frequency. It lasts.
No, it's just more fucked up than it was before.
Maybe, yeah. Because there's more
funny.
people.
I used to be able to watch movies on 3G. And I watch movies basically at the same rate these days.
But we downloaded movies when there was like 686 computer processors, you know, come on.
Oh yeah, that took like 20 hours though.
Yeah, it did.
Let me see if I save a little bit by stopping my camera until the internet comes back a little clearer. There we go. That's a little better.
I love the Space Force patch you got there. Is that what that is?
No, it says a Kubrick production.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I remember reading that. Yeah. At least he knows who did it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's what blew me away is I can't believe people are still arguing whether the moon landings were real or not. I'm like, well, no, of course not. Jesus, you know, I mean, you're telling me that you did it. I mean, first off, it's obviously fake. Just by looking at it, we've already broken down all the things why the buggy would have never worked because the battery was well out of the operating temperatures that are required for the battery that ran it. I mean, the hot, both the hot and cold side are well below and above the range of operation for this battery. I mean, it's just been broke down a million times. I can't believe that people have to have a really hopeful, childish outlook in order to actually still believe that. I think.
Yeah. Speaking of batteries, how did the batteries last on the moon for as long as they did? That's what I want to know.
Must have been solar panels recharging them.
Oh yeah.
I want to know how they kept that goddamn thing from being a convection oven, man.
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
Didn't they only had lead acid batteries back then, right? And alkaline. That was it. They didn't have these new ones, right? So how did they get those big batteries up there in that spaceship?
How
they must have
lasers at that thing and bounce it off that retro reflector they have up there. So you'd have to point your laser in advance to be able to hit it, and then you'd have to be moving to catch the rebound to boot.
Well, the Russians.
I wonder if they actually did try it once. I wonder if they actually did try to fire it straight up and just smack right into it. Like, I wonder if that was the first test, if that really happened.
Hit it.
I would like to know that. I'd love to see that footage. You know?
Well, with this laser thing that they do, right? And they're supposedly reflecting it off the moon. The Russians were doing that before they ever even went to the moon, supposedly.
Yeah.
But what I'd like to know is let's do it side by side. Shoot the laser at your little reflector, okay? Get your little result, and then aim it away from the moon and do the same thing and see what happens. Has anybody tried that?
I've said that, man. I want them, dude. Just point at the open sky. How do you not? How do you know you're not bouncing a signal off of the firmament or whatever?
Well, I was going to say if you shot it up at the right angle, you probably would hit the dome. But I'm not sure that it would come back because a laser only propagates so far before it starts to fade, right?
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, a laser can only propagate so far. So how does it get 270,000 miles away?
Maybe some of it would bounce back, right? Yeah.
You're going to say it ain't 270,000. It's 550,000 by the time it gets up and back.
Yeah, and then you take into taking consideration the inverse square law of light. And
Oh yeah.
Right.
by the time it's getting back, like they say, you're only getting like 2 to 3 photons or something like that. It's stupid, man.
It's hard to measure that light at that scale, though, dude. It really is.
Yeah. So
Well,
any
just
light,
because
any
of
light,
it-
would not any light register?
Depends on how sensitive the photocell is.
You would need a very, very strong mirror, like a really, really clean mirror that reflect it back. I don't think some kind of sensor would do it. Like if you're going to bounce a laser back, it would have to be a pure mirror. It would have to be a good mirror, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to get the right reflection rate on it, and you'd lose half of it, as it hit the mirror. If you
So
were
how does
using
all
a
that-
refractor.
You would lose like a quarter. Well,
But if you're just trying to make it light, like if you're just shooting it to hit some kind of
Detecting an
reflective
issue with
material
the
that makes it
connection.
light up, right? I don't know.
Dave, you're
I'm just
sounding a
curious how
little
that
better.
works.
You're coming in clear. You were roboting just a minute ago.
There you go. Am I back?
Oh yeah, you're back.
You're good.
oh yeah, you got.
Yeah, you weren't. It wasn't real bad.
God damn
roboting,
it.
though.
I changed my VPN. This thing says we're discovering an issue with your connection and all this shit. Now it's doing it again.
Should
I'm
we all
cooking
turn our
on this
videos off?
thing.
Maybe is that what's causing it?
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Let's try that.
Everything's
Maybe
going
everybody
wrong.
turns the camera.
Roger just all of a sudden did all of his last movements from the last.
Yeah,
What,
he just
8
looked.
seconds
Yeah,
out
he
of
was.
one
He
season.
looked like Flash. He looked like
Yeah,
the
man.
Flash.
Oh, they were. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, he says.
It's this
Oh,
camera.
like,
It
for a split
doesn't
second, he
have-
just takes off the screen and comes back. He's like, "Whoa, what happened?"
It's the frame rate on this camera.
It's 420 somewhere.
And
So
it's-
yeah, I was gonna say, Joe, though, on that same note, if you guys really want to make some fucking globies lose their minds, just go ahead and show them that by the very formulas that they use and that we use, of course. Look, I'm gonna just bring it up one more time so that people can see it. There it is. So if force is mass times acceleration, and weight is mass times gravitational acceleration. And if both
There it is.
values are set at 9.8 meters per second squared, then weight equals mass times acceleration is correct. And weight is calculable as a force by the very definition right there.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw how simple it was when you wrote that out. I'm like, well, I got out the paint.
Right. So you notice that the force, notice that
I like
the
how you
force
wrote it like in
equals-
crayon almost. I love it.
Yeah. You notice how the
you should have made it a little thicker.
Look, you
Made it
notice
fun.
how the force formula, right? It doesn't
Yeah, yeah.
say it doesn't say acceleration due to anything,
Right.
right? So that leaves it open. Acceleration due to whatever, right? Even
medium.
if
It just
if
means
it's
that a force
G.
takes over it. You're right.
Yeah,
basically,
even if
right,
it's
yeah.
acceleration because of what you assume is causing it. It doesn't matter. The cause is irrelevant because what we're doing here is we've just now proven that weight is a force.
Well,
I mean,
there
come
are
on.
there
Let me know.
there are unbalanced forces, though. That's basically what we went over several times. I wonder if anybody got that. What causes that?
It was
force?
tough for me when I first heard you guys talking about, or the groups talking about it. I was like, I didn't really get what it meant, but it didn't take me long to figure it out, because there was I listened to a lot of people talk about it, and they were really good at telling laymen, they were good at explaining it in an easy way to understand. I figured it out, but I don't know all of it.
Well, everything wants to balance out. Everything wants
It does.
to be
Equilibrium.
equal in nature. Everything equilibrium. All right. So the relative density to the medium. Okay, that's what they're not getting. So think of it as a seesaw.
And if you don't have a medium, then how do you measure
Right.
that,
So on one side, and we're just going to give a numeric value. Okay. Let's say that the density of the object is 6 and the density of the medium is 4. Okay. Which side of the teeter-totter is going to go down?
Oh no, are you talking about 4
The
tons and
6.
6?
The 6. The
Are you
6.
talking about
because
4?
it's more than 4. It's out of balance. So it's going to go, right? Now, if the object is 4 over here, Oh, I'm not even on camera. Fuck.
There you are.
So,
Oh, you're
right,
frozen,
so
Dave.
we got the object. The object is 6. The medium is 4.
You're
Okay.
frozen, bro.
Yeah,
Am I
we
froze?
can. Yeah, you're froze.
You popped up and then you instantly just
Yeah,
locked.
you're
It's
just blank
showing
screen.
me.
Lock.
Hold on. It's showing me on here. Hold on a second. Let me.
They're lying to you, Dave. Why would they lie?
No, your face is up there, but like I said, it's not moving
Yeah.
or anything. It's like it's
Oh
like
yeah,
it's
I'm
just,
not moving or anything. All right, hang on one
yeah,
second.
time
I'm just gonna
stopped
do
all of a
something.
sudden. Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Robot
I'm just-
Polisher just put one out just a second ago.
All right, am I
Is it-
back? Does that work?
How do
Nothing
you
yet.
get your robot polish?
I don't know.
Like screen.
Not everybody can be one though.
No, not everybody can be a robot polisher.
No.
So
Takes practice.
can you
We
all
can't see
see
you,
it
Dave.
now?
We see black.
This is black. Okay.
Yeah.
Just black.
This is really getting irritating. This is really, really getting irritating.
It's your fault, Roger. I told you.
I'm gonna leave out of the studio and come back in again. I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but it's really.
But before you leave, Dave, I got 100 subs now. Already. Oh, you already gone.
Oh, congrats. Congrats, Roger.
Well, thanks. Yeah, we're gonna do a little show after a while, and it's like, thanks for subbing, y'all. Look at that!
thanks,
Look at the
everybody.
container. What's in there? Is that cow seed in there? Yeah, what's in there?
So is your YouTube Roger Ludwell?
Yep, it is.
Oh, now
I'll sub over there.
can I be seen?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
All right. So
Thank you.
here's what I want to do. This hand is my object. Okay. This hand is my medium. All right. So my object's value is 4. And my medium's value is 2. Okay. 4 is more than 2. Okay. Now, if I change it the other way, okay, where my medium is now 4 and my object is 2, I go the other direction because now what is occurring? Before, the object was displacing the medium. Okay. Now the medium is displacing the object. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yes,
All right.
it does.
That's to me. I get it. I'm not saying I get
Yeah,
the whole.
it is
I don't
common
understand
sense.
all of about the physics of it, but I do understand exactly what you just said. Yes.
So it's basically, if you think of yourself, think of the air as a really super thin
Fluid.
liquid.
Basically, yeah. It's
Like,
exactly
you
what it
know?
is, yeah.
Yeah, it's still going to be subject to it. It's different than a liquid because of the fact that liquids and gases are actually 2 different states of matter, but both
They
are
act very
fluids,
similar. Yes. Yes.
and they
Yeah.
they do have a lot of the same characteristics, but not exact.
You can apply some of the same laws to liquids and gases.
a lot of them, but not but some are exclusive. For instance, gases are compressible, liquids are not.
Right. Yeah.
What's going on, Rasta Bear?
What's up, Sov? How you doing tonight?
What's up, man?
Hey, Russia.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, we're doing good.
Yeah.
How'd your thing with the upward rising Earth people go? I didn't
Well,
watch it.
I destroyed him. I made a mockery of him. I told him, he's the laughing stock of the flat Earth community because because he's like so adamant on pushing this belief. It's kind of like when you're airing your kinks to people online, like you letting people know the stuff that you're secretly into, but you're like proud of it for some reason. It's like,
Hey, Cryptrick, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, no doubt, right? Well, the thing is that that's why you got to be careful. This is why I came out here and I was like, look, okay, here's what I found right here is that these 2 formulas are just exactly the same. One just has a direction applied to it. That's all. So you can actually calculate weight as a force. So, how's that sit? What do y'all think? Rebuttal? Let's discuss this, right? That kind of a thing. But when you come out and then you've automatically just declared it as this is the thing, this is what's happening. And if you blow your trumpet too hard, now you can't go back on it. Not without eating a lot of humble pie.
Exactly.
They don't need a music group.
Exactly. I told him. Oh, sorry. I told him that he owes the whole entire, collective of the flat Earth movement a handwritten apology letter, and he should really think long and hard about that. And a lot of these people do, but for him for giving a lot of these people headway in a platform, it's on him to write a apology letter.
My biggest thing is that entire, it seems like that whole crew of people are just really fucking hateful.
They are.
Yeah,
they are, and I've done research on a lot of them. A lot of them are just troll sock accounts. Like you go to look at their like pictures of them, and they don't have any photos of themselves. None of them want to actually come on and talk about this. So it's all the workings of a real operation going on, where they're like, doing this, for ulterior purposes.
Yeah. I have to ask, like what's behind it. Am I locked up again?
Yeah, you
no,
are.
you're good.
Yeah, a little bit.
I hear you fine.
I mean, my camera's froze and shit, right?
Yeah, your camera is
really starting to get fucking annoying.
Yeah, you got Ethernet there, or what you got for internet?
Yeah, I mean, we've got the fastest shit they got going, in the area. So it's just they're fucking cavemen, when and it's the nature of my show, because I could be doing any other thing. There, it just now went away. The little thing just now went away that said I was having internet problems.
Oh, maybe your picture will work.
There, see? Am I working? Yeah.
You're black.
No, you're not working.
You're still frozen.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, I just got that little notice back again. Fuck these people, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll just continue on this. Huh?
How much you pay him?
I don't know. My wife takes care of all that shit. I just fucking live. It comes out automatically out of my account. I put in money at the end of the month, and they just fucking take money out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
It was a very entertaining stream. If anybody who hasn't watched it, you can check it out on my channel or Nachikita's channel. It's definitely a good laugh. The whole 3 hours of it. I mean, yeah, it's comedy gold.
I watched like 2 hours of it earlier, and that's what when I called into Dave earlier, I was like, dude, you know what I am now? I'm a downward falling earther, because you just take their math and put a negative behind it, and then the earth could be falling down and causing resistance, and the smaller pieces above it, because there's less density, are falling faster. So we're actually falling down to the earth, and the earth's moving down. That makes as much sense as what they're saying.
Yeah, I thought of that too. Yeah. That was one of the first things I thought of.
Yeah, like it's the same. It's like it's the same but the opposite. But what's Occam's razor? We're not fucking moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see that. You can visually see that and feel that. Like I did some experiments, in my backyard with a pear tree, and pears falling from the tree, and then you stand there and you look at the leaves, and the leaves don't move when you're just standing there. And then I hopped up on the ladder and I tossed the pear up and down while I'm standing on the ladder. And if we were moving upward, then I would feel something on the ladder as the pear is falling back into my hand. It's just this stuff shouldn't even have to be explained.
Yeah. Listen, I don't understand why there's this big push by anybody to want to make people believe, for whatever reason, that they're fucking moving when they're not. I don't understand why. You are. You just can't sense it. Does this make you a fucking wizard if you can make people believe that dumb shit? Is that what you're trying for? Is your black hat?
Pretty close.
I'm not hypnotizable, man. You can't get me.
And that's the thing. I think that the leaders of these movements can't believe this stuff is real. Like that you hit the nail on the head there when I think it is like some type of wizardry type stuff where, yeah, if they can deceive the masses and get people, you know, like certain people to hop on board and really push it, then, you know, really just start a cult out of nonsense.
Oh my
Then
God.
maybe they get special powers from that or something. I don't know.
That's kind of how I felt about the downward falling Earth. Like maybe I should just start a cult about a downward falling Earth. Like
Called the downward dog.
people
you know.
actually would they buy it? I think they would. If they would buy this crap, they would probably buy that.
Well, if you ever,
I think they've got a little bit more technology that you're not aware of that probably wouldn't work, but you never know, right?
Yeah.
You never
See,
know.
that's antithetical to my efforts, and my efforts are to break people away from all these cults that they're in, and they don't realize that
course.
they're in. You know,
Just make
that's
them
what the
realize that it's
untrained
crazy. Yeah.
mind- That's what the untrained mind aspect of this is. You see,
Right, freeing someone. Yes.
right?
And
Hey,
I did a poll in the chat too to see how many people actually believed this nonsense, and there was only like 5 of them during the whole stream that would actually admit to being, you know, a member of the Upward Earth community, and that was about what I predicted. Was there was about 5 of them, and then
Well,
I
they
go
probably
back.
came in with the guest, probably, right?
Exactly, and then there was no guest. It was just Nachikita. None of the other people.
Oh, yeah, okay.
None of the other
No
people.
one wanted to come in.
Except for this
Oh, okay.
level-headed
You have to do
William
those
guy.
We all have
He
those
came
problems, don't
on,
we?
and I debunked his whole experiments because he asserts that the Earth is rising upward in his thesis in his experiment, and you can't make a claim like that you can't prove in an experiment, and then it be a valid experiment.
Well, it was first.
It would
At
have to
first,
be
it was
continuously gaining speed, and then that would get out of hand after a while. We would have became energy a long time ago. Right?
Yeah, at first it
I
was
wanna know how
this JC23 guy came in and just said, Rasta, if you can't concede to any of my arguments, then I'm not even going to debate with you. It's like that, like if you can't concede to any of my arguments, I'm not going to.
But if none of his
debate with
arguments
you.
are real or part of reality, then why bother? I mean,
Exactly. I'm like, why should
You
I
might as well just
concede
have
to
a show
anything
without
you're
him.
trying to pull over me? Like, what do I get from conceding to you? You just popped on. I've never met you before in my life, and you're asking me to concede to these terms and conditions.
it's kind of like when you get Social Security and they want to know what your Social Security number, they want to know what your date of birth was and how you're related to the patient. It's like, dude, really? Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It was honestly a lot of fun. It was one of the more fun streams I've actually gotten to do, just because I really got to really, you know, destroy the whole thing with logic.
It was entertaining,
All right.
man. It was
Hey, Boss
entertaining
Ray.
as fuck, but I couldn't listen to it. It was just it just got so far out of hand. I was just
You know what up, Brady?
So I got to tell you all about this experience I had today. This was interesting. I was gonna start out and tell everybody, and it slipped by me. And God damn it, why my phone didn't record? I thought for sure I had it all on camera and shit. I didn't, because I don't know. I must have hit it and then unhit it or some kind of thing. Anyway, I was on my way to the store. And I look over and I see the Dollar General right before the store that I'm going into. And there's fucking cops in there lit up like Christmas, man. 4 or 5 cars. Car pulled over, doors open and shit, right? Couldn't even, I mean, they're blocking up the fucking entrance to this place and shit. Just barely enough room to get into the thing. So I went to the store, I went and got what I had to get, turned around and I pulled in there. And I parked my Jeep. And I went out over to him and I says, hey, I said, how come you guys always got to park like a bunch of fucking assholes like this and block up everything? You guys like, well, you need to get out of our scene. I said, what fucking scene? I don't see any goddamn tape. Why are you all parked like a bunch of assholes? You come in here and take up 3 and 4 parking spots, block up the fucking highway. What's up with that? Well, we don't know if the person might have had a gun. I said, dude, you had the shit blocked up when I went by, and now I've come back. I'm sure that if they had a gun, you'd fucking know by now. Okay?
You got a gun, you got 6.
He says, you're interfering with our investigation. I said, interference is physical, bitch. I said, He said, well, you're in our crime scene. I said, I don't see no fucking tape. Where's your tape? I said, what y'all need to do, you all need to fucking quit parking like a bunch of goddamn assholes, man. And then I turned around and I left, you know. And as I'm pulling out, I see that little sawed-off son of a bitch craning around and look so he could look at my plate. And I go, go ahead. You ain't going to want to have a run-in with me, motherfucker. Go ahead and ask your fat buddy down there at the station house about it, too. He'll tell you how I dressed him down for being a fat fucking slob. I did. Man.
Really?
Yeah, man.
You turned him in for having his shirt open or something?
No. They were campaigning for sheriff, and these two big old fat belly motherfuckers come up there, and I was out in my yard, and they come over and talk about the campaigning for the sheriff and shit. And I says, "Are you sheriff's deputies?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, "When was the last time you even saw your fucking dick, man?" I says, how are you going to ever catch anybody? I said, the best you could do, you couldn't catch a rolling motherfucking donut. Look at you. You're a disgrace. I said, isn't there some kind of physical thing that you have to go through in order to be a cop? And they were like, oh, okay, well, we'll be seeing you later. And I looked at him and I said, you better hope the fuck not.
Hey, Matt, you're echoing, dude.
Yeah.
There we go.
So Rasta Bear, did Dell show up at the Nachikia event?
No, he didn't. I call him Groundskeeper Willie because he sounds just like Groundskeeper Willie off of the freaking Simpsons. Yeah. And yeah, I was like, I asked Nachikita, I'm like, where's Groundskeeper Willie at? You know, like I heard him the other day, like with Jaron, and that was a really painful interview to listen to. It was Nachikita and Groundskeeper Willie and Jaron. And Jaron was trying to be as cordial as possible, listening to him try and like explain this theory to him. But it just like, no matter what they do, it doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, they can just talk about it for hours and it ends up just hurting your brain. Like I told them, if they want to keep on talking about this subject, then it's on them to rot their brain. Because, I mean, that's all it's doing.
Fucking stupid.
Well, Rasta.
Yeah.
Look at the human fall chart. The human body.
So what sort of logic? Hang on, mate.
The human body falls per second. You got two lovers standing on a cliff. The guy jumps off because he can't stand the woman being with another man or woman or whatever. He falls for 7 seconds. He's falling 110 miles an hour, 161 feet per second. In that same point of the earth, the same exact time, the woman decides she can't take it without the man. She dives off the cliff too. And in 2 seconds, the earth's only coming up to her at 44 feet per second. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. Or like in all the action movies, you know, where somebody will jump off the cliff and the other person will swoop down and grab them, and then their rope's attached to the one person and they end up grabbing the person. You know, like probably some like Tom Cruise Mission Impossible type shit. Like that.
Because the first person spread out their body and had a lot of resistance, and the other person dove.
But that would be only if you were falling out of an airplane with a parachute or, you know, free falling. You wouldn't do that just off of like a 2-story building.
No, you would not do that. You wouldn't do that off the. You wouldn't do that off the 2000.
The Rising Earth model. There's like a debate among some, like whether it's accelerating. Like some of them don't think it's accelerating. I talked to a few. Some of them do. So if it was accelerating, then that means it would be going twice the speed of light.
You mean they told you what they believed and it made sense?
No, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense to me.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't make sense
I just wanted to see if I get you to smile.
Just because a physics experiment works in a bottle or some shit doesn't mean that that's what we live in.
Well, it didn't really work in their bottle.
When
I didn't see it.
You know the one where he shows the guy's got a bottle of water on a little cart?
Yeah, I was making so much fun of that one.
All right. Well, here's the thing. If you notice, he starts pulling the cart back about the same time as the bubble starts to come back toward equilibrium. Because in order to maintain that effect, you have to keep increasing.
You got to speed it up.
The other direction.
Yeah.
Yep. As soon as everything is just like when you're in a car, when you hit the accelerator, you feel the force back into the seat. But once you're up to 50 miles an hour or whatever speed you're going, you're just like you're sitting still because you're going the same speed as the frame of reference that you're in. So you don't have any pull back on your seat or anything else like that. You're going the same relative speed as the vehicle and everything. So in order to maintain that pressing back effect, I would have to keep going faster and faster and faster and faster all the time. And like you were saying, we'd be going multiple speeds of light by now.
It's like a bullet train, you know, like the bullet trains in Japan, like or wherever, you know, like they're real fast at first, but I'm sure once it gets up to speed, you can serve beverages on there and you know do whatever.
Believing in a rising, believing in that rising Earth going faster than the speed of whatever, right? And not being able to like see it with our own eyes and feel it is the same thing as believing in the globe spinning to me. So
it's worse.
Exactly.
It's worse because I mean they're saying that the sun and the moon and the stars are all part of the same container that we're in, that's all moving at the same rate, no different rates, that they're all just connected and all moving upward simultaneously.
To where, right?
Yeah, to where?
From where? To where?
Where are they going to?
Yeah,
when we finally hit the top, we're screwed, right? Like,
yeah. Well, I like what Rasta said. Rasta said we'd have our head in the head in the clouds.
Yeah, we would. The clouds. Yeah, how do the clouds stay where they are? If we're going up, then we should hit the clouds in seconds, right?
This kills it.
Well, the clouds are moving.
I'm going to kill it. I'm going to just totally kill it right here.
They're being carried away.
9.8 meters per second is an average, and it's only achieved in a vacuum. Okay? Yep. So if that means that it's different at different times, different places all the time, that means that different parts of the earth and shit are going up at different rates than other fucking places.
They'd have to.
Okay? And that's not occurring. Otherwise, we'd be fucking living on mud.
So the mountains are taller at high tide. So is the water.
I've been talking to
You're making logical sense, Dave.
I've been talking to a lot of different flat earthers.
Common sense points.
Yeah, man.
Like all throughout walks of the flat earth life. And like some of the older ones are just kind of like, well, I don't have anything against it. And then there's some people that are like diehard Christian flat earthers that are like, no, it goes against the biblical model. Anything that goes, you know, that's kind of how I feel. But it's crazy. Like some people just don't seem to carry the way as long as you believe in a flat earth. But it's weird how these people are trying to like gaslight us into going on their shows and fighting them. Like they were trying to get me to go on the show. And I didn't. I was like, well, who am I to go on there? And I'm not God. Like to get up there in front of everybody and say, I know what this place is, would kind of be.
They want to put. They'll act like they're putting you on a pedestal, like you're popular, even though you're nobody, just so they can use that to make you look stupid, right?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not even playing that.
If you're not really good at knowing how they do that, you can get in a lot of trouble. You know, they'll get you angry and get you triggered. Next thing you know, you're looking like
you look bad, and then you lose all your subscribers and everything.
And it's all because you're having a bad day or somebody just talks. You know, they push your buttons. Yeah, I don't think that's fair at all. Yeah.
And see, that's why I was the perfect person for it.
Rasta can do it.
I'm perfectly fine with making an ass of myself if I need to. I mean, I've gotten on here, I don't know how many times.
You did.
And you know, made a spectacle and had clips made of me, and I laugh.
What good does that do, though, Rasta? What good does that do? Like,
well, I mean, I think this time,
you weren't using logic. You weren't using common sense.
They expected that from me this time, and that wasn't what they got. They got intellect and raw power that just like served it to them, and was really just made an embarrassment of them. Their whole movement. I mean, they can't recover after this. Anybody who watches the whole thing, they'll see.
You didn't have answers though, Rasta. Hang on, Matt. Give us a sec, mate. Mate, they asked you why things fall. What was your answer?
Come on, people.
Why things fall? I said because the weight of things mainly, and then I also. Were you talking about when I used the word gravity?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I use the word gravity because that's a lot easier to use than their theory. I can use that word if they're going to say the Earth is rising. Then why not attach the force of gravity?
No. Why not reply with common sense, because we can debunk gravity. That's what I'm saying.
Equal density.
What I want to know is where are they at night?
Rassi, you're thinking they're talking nonsense, and you give them a nonsense. You give them a globe or answer. Why?
Yeah, you're just replacing nonsense with nonsense.
Well, I think you're
Right.
just attaching to that one part. I mean, I gave multiple answers.
I heard
at
the whole
multiple
thing, mate.
different times.
I heard the whole thing.
You did hear the whole thing, okay? But you still just attached to that one spot where
No, I'm using one example.
I know that's
I'm
a really
using that
dirty
one
word
example.
in the flat Earth community. I mean, people just can't stand that word gravity.
Let's take it. Let's
Gravity?
just take it. Let's
There's
just
no
take
gravity.
it to a more realistic level. Let's just take it to a more realistic level. All right. So as I demonstrated earlier in the with the what I drew out on paint, that weight can actually be exhibited as a force, as the formula seems to be exactly the same. Okay, I'm going to bring it up one more time for people to see. Let's see, where is it? Oh, I got to open it back up.
This is basically Archimedes' principle, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
right?
All right. So we know that they say the formula for force is mass times acceleration, right? And the formula for weight is mass times g. And when you read what g is actually, it's acceleration. Again, the A right here, it's acceleration caused by gravity. That's what they call it, caused by gravity. So it's the same number. And all right. So what I want to do is this. Now, acceleration can be any direction, and this in the force formula, it can be any direction, and it can be from whatever is applying the force, right? So then, if that's what force is equal to, and I set that acceleration in a downward direction at 9.8 meters per second squared, and weight is derived from the same thing, and I put g at 9.8 meters per second squared because that's the constant that they use, then that would mean that weight is equal to mass times acceleration, and that means that weight is a force. Now, how? Gravitas. What does gravitas mean? Gravitas means heavy. It means weight. And what do they claim the reason for things falling? Gravity, gravitas, weight. Well, okay, weight is the force. What is weight? Weight is actually the relative density of an object within a given medium, because I can change g in the weight formula merely by increasing the density of the medium. Now I've not only slowed the rate of acceleration, I've also changed the weight of the object.
And see, that's why I use the term gravity in that explanation, is because if they were trying to explain this to a normal physicist who wasn't a flat earther, they would appreciate the use of that word, because it's like you say, it's identical regardless if you use that word or the acceleration. They're the same formula. I wasn't quite aware of that because I'm not very knowledgeable in physics, but I think it worked out quite well. It's like, I know that as the flat earth community, the word gravity isn't very acceptable, but if you're talking normal to a physicist who doesn't adhere to the flat earth, then they would appreciate that, especially in the explanation. They would be like, well, duh, it's gravity. So
Well, see, and it's not their fault, because this has been so loosely tied into circular logic that they get stuck. It ends up being a self-defeating argument with yourself with a circular argument. When the reality is, we go into it and we look, well, no, there is no mysterious force or anything at all. It's just a state of disequilibrium. What is equilibrium? If my medium is 4 and my object is 4, what happens? Nothing.
It's equal.
Zeroes out.
Nothing, because there's equilibrium. Now, if my medium is 2 and my object is 4, now if I change it around the other way, what happens?
3.
It's an unbalanced force. That's what we said earlier, and that's what you want to attribute things falling to. You're at a net force at a 0, at equilibrium. If you unbalance that force somehow or another, that's the force that makes things fall. The weight is what you attribute the fall for. It's not gravity at all. And we've been trying to get Dell on our show, or Fletcher's show, for many, many, many weeks, and he won't come on and debate it with us. He knows better.
Yeah.
He'll sit in the chat and he'll chat skank and just
Dell
we've
has
Yes,
been
can I-
around for a long
Can,
time.
Solve.
With his bullshit.
Victoria, that was just that's normal. That's due to gravitational paragravelax. Yeah, that's what it is. It's paragravelax.
And that's one thing I made sure on the show too, that I let them all know that they're all cowards or just agents.
Yeah,
and
you did a
shows
lot of
that-
name. You did a lot of name calling.
I did that. They
A lot of
deserved
name
it.
calling.
If
No,
you
no,
saw
there was-
some,
no.
if you saw some of the
Yeah, you
private
did.
messages that I've been
Not all of
receiving
them.
and the harassment that Earthship Bear and others, they just want to just try and troll to the next level in chats. And when I don't even care, I don't want to engage, but then they kind of hook you in, and I sometimes I get hooked into that, and they deserved every name I said. I could have said a lot more.
That was one thing I was going to
That's
say.
not
Rob.
every person on the stream, though, Rasta.
You guys want to see the best example?
There's
This is what I
respectful
do.
people.
This is what I do on Facebook with these trolls and shit, right? Okay, right off the bat. I'll say, do you have any experimental proof of air being affected in any way by gravity? And they'll say, you stupid flurf, you never graduated school, blah, 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 blah. You know what I reply? I'm sorry, that was not proof of gravity having an effect on air. Please try again. It pisses them off worse when you don't fucking play their game.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
the best way to do it. Say, no, stay on topic. What the fuck did I just ask you? Answer it, and then we'll go. Don't start trying to flip the subject around to some other bullshit, some anecdotal thing that was said within the explanation. No, stay on topic, you little bitch. That's how it's going to go.
And I feel like I was quite respectful. I mean, can you name any name that was really just too crude or just disrespectful to the point where it was just like cringeworthy? Because I don't.
I mean, you did kind of go off on them and call them retarded.
Well, they are.
You were calling
I mean,
I can't deny that. I mean, they are. I mean, that's if you looked up the definition of retardation.
I know,
they're-
and I'm not arguing with you for saying that. I'm just saying, like,
Rasta, you know what?
something that was kind of cringeworthy. Like, you should have probably stayed a little calmer and had a little more facts on hand, because I noticed you were like you did a good job playing it offhand, but you really were. You were like trying to recall stuff. You didn't really have any notes written down that you were going off of.
Yeah, exactly. I winged it 100%.
Yeah.
You know, like I thought about taking notes, and then I was like, no, this doesn't even deserve my time. Of taking
You
notes.
should have, though. You should
wing it
have.
when you
I
rap,
think you
too.
should have.
Yeah,
I think you should have.
Yeah,
I probably
you gotta
should
start
have.
writing.
but-
You need to get some notebooks. Go to the store tomorrow, buy a couple new notebooks, start writing down.
I've got some
everything.
notebooks
Raps.
right here. I got notebooks. This one has some raps in it, but I need to go back.
I
and
mean,
work on
I
it.
could tell that you. I mean, you felt like pretty confident going in, but I could see that they hit you with a couple of things. But those couple of things, they should have been pretty easy to hit. Like,
What are these?
And Rasta, there's nothing wrong with saying you don't know. If someone asks you a question, it's better than saying I don't know than going off and calling people names. You know, it's okay to say I don't know.
I agree, and I did play that one quite a bit. And I asked them, I asked Not Chiquita to ask, I asked him what he thought and him to explain things, because I really didn't know. And a lot of times I leaned into, I don't understand what you just said. I said that numerous times.
I'm just going to give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example. This is how you want to work your strategies out with this. All right. So, can you steel man a globe position of what the sun is?
That's like 93 million miles away.
Yeah,
And
I mean, like if you were just pretend you're a glober and you're
Uh-huh.
going to convince me of the sun and the sunset. Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's 93 million miles away, and it sets because the Earth is this Earth is moving around the sun, and so the Earth is also rotating, and so as the Earth rotates, then the sun sets.
Okay. So how do you know how far away the sun is?
Through what do they say? What type of That's what type of device did they use? They use some type of laser or something, or satellites.
Can you explain how that works?
I sure can.
All right, so this is the whole thing. This is just like if you ever find yourself in court or with a cop. Okay? Always be the one asking the questions. Make them prove their claim. Don't make claims. Now go ahead and turn around like a typical Glover would and say, well, what is this? What do you think the sun is?
Okay, what do you think the sun is?
Okay. I don't know. It appears to be some kind of a light that provides warmth in the sky that moves 15 degrees per hour.
It's close.
Outside of that, I really don't fucking know what it is. I don't know where it is. I know it's not 93 million miles away. That's ridiculous. And it goes against any kind of practical laws of physics. But I don't know what it is. I don't make any claims to know what it is. You see how that works?
There you go.
They have a claim. They have specific fucking claims. Okay. The positive claim, we get up every day and we observe a level topographical plane. We don't feel any motion. Along comes the globetard and says, you're on a ball that's spinning around through space. Okay, that goes against my observable reality, and therefore it's a positive claim. Now you have to prove that. You have to prove what goes against my observational reality. You see? They want to flip it around to where prove a flat earth. I don't have to prove what's obvious. You have to prove what goes against what's obvious.
Yeah, that's true, and that's what they were trying to. They assert like the Earth is rising to like it's the new gospel, and it's on us to prove that it's not. Mm-hmm. When in reality,
real quick, Russell, let me read this. Crepuscular rays prove that the sun is close. These type of rays that look like beams of light that come down like in a triangle, shafts of light which are seen just after the sun is set and which extend over the western sky, radiating from the position of sun below the horizon. You would only see those type of rays like these if the sun was close, like this one right here.
Here, I can. Here's a very, very easy home experiment that anybody can do. Take a piece of cardboard, one of them things that pizza comes in, says, one of them round pieces of cardboard or any piece of cardboard or whatever, okay? And put some holes in it, cut some little holes in it, right? And then set that a certain distance off the ground. And then all you have to do is take a light and move it like a flashlight, move it up and down, change the height of it from the pizza board, and you will see the rays underneath go like this. You will see them go like this.
Yep.
You will see them go from crepuscular to less the further you take that thing up. And the closer you get, the wider apart those spreads go. It's real simple. You can prove it to yourself at home. Their claim is it's because when it hits the atmosphere, another thing that violates physics, that it somehow is refracting and making it do that and seeing that it's close. So you're only getting that from where the edge of the atmosphere is at. And I think that's just a half-assed way of explaining that the thing is actually in the firmament, which would be the edge of the atmosphere as they claim. Problem is that there is no possible way to have any kind of gas pressure without containment. Gravity, not only has gravity not ever been proven, gravity has never been shown to have any effect on air at all.
Dude, I love that. I love the Incubus, the line from the Incubus song, where he says the sky resembles 1,000 canopies with holes punched in it.
Yeah. And isn't it amazing? You can focus in on the moon. And there was a lot of people put out these pictures here recently.
You can focus in on you focus in on the moon, and then you move your camera or whatever, your scope, whatever you got, and you're still in focus on like the stars or the other celestial
the best
beings
was
or whatever.
Recently, people just had all these pictures of the moon with Saturn peeking out behind it.
Oh yeah, man, that was awesome.
Both in focus. They're both in fucking perfect focus, but they're how many million
I watched
miles away?
Melodome. Melodome did that, man. I think he
Yeah,
went out
yeah.
there with his P900.
This
I
is
remember.
new, right?
I saw him sharing some stuff on his Facebook page, man. That was awesome.
Can I play devil's
Have you,
advocate for a
have,
second?
have
I've
you
got to
seen?
dip out. I got to
Have you
go.
seen this Sovereign Soul
Hey, Russ.
NASA?
I just
All
wanted to jump on and you know, talk for a minute.
How'd
And
you
say
like
what up.
how'd you like my little video of that too?
Oh, that was awesome.
I'm gonna record that.
Yeah, I've been playing the guitar a
yeah.
lot more here myself, so I'm really getting back into it. And yeah, I'm going to go see the Marleys tomorrow, actually, up in the yeah, it's gonna
Nice,
be
Rasta. Just a side note, if you guys don't mind, I just bought myself a new Gretsch.
So I saw this in the news recent. NASA discovers a long-sought global electric field, like on Earth. Like they found a new report to detection of Earth's and bipolar electric field. So now they found a new electric field around the globe.
Wow.
Of course, it's bipolar.
You heard it? We got two suns in our solar system now,
I bet it's female as well.
Oh yeah.
Listen, there's a lot of crazy shit going on here recently with the sun. I don't know. I'm seeing more and more stuff, a lot more reference to things from people on the sun, and I'm like, there's a lot of focus on the sun. I've noticed some strange things. A lot of other people have as well. And it's been really an uptick of it ever since that last eclipse. And this is, you remember, think about this, man. Remember all those places that were in the path of totality that issued out all these emergency warnings and shit like that? Nothing came of it. But what was that for? What was that contingency in case something, what were they expecting would have happened or something? I just curious, you know? And ever since then, the sun being weird, I don't know. I just noticed things like that, and I kind of put them together, and it half makes me wonder, you know?
Yeah, I wonder about that myself. I don't know, man. You know, I commented on your thing the other day about those morning flowers and
yeah, the morning glories.
Yeah. They
like that.
About how the moon and the sun were actually in the same position. And I wonder I wonder if the moon and the blue flowers and the sun and the pink flowers.
I don't know. Well, I got some other. I had people send me some other information. I took them down because I'm gonna put them together into one video, with some other stuff that I'm wanting to do about the sun. But there's other explanations people have had about that they stay bright and you're supposed to plant them in a real sunny area and they stay open all day. But I don't, you know. Is this just a matter? Maybe, who knows? Maybe it's a fucking.
I'm kind of unsure about that too, because I remember my parents calling them, you know, morning flowers when I was younger too, and I remember only seeing those things blooming when I was young. But then when I started thinking about it, I was like, I wonder if it has to do with the moon patterns and the sun patterns.
Well, and then somebody said something also about the because of the pressure. And I'm like, wait a minute. Now I know for a fact that when I was in California, I had these morning glories and they would be all closed up in the daytime. And I could go out there and put my hands, cup them over one of the flower buds like that for about a minute. And when I opened my hand, that flower would be fully bloomed. And as soon as I took my hand off, it would immediately start to close back up.
Huh.
And so I don't know, man. I don't know. There's some weird.
I mean,
shit.
I believe, man.
That's
just something I got to look into, I guess, because I don't know, man. It does seem like plants are acting weird, but at the same time, I have found like a lot of the stuff that people have been saying, like that's something like when Austin Thompson Melodome started talking about everything going on with the sun and reactions with the skies. It does have me like rethinking some stuff about,
oh yeah,
you know, just certain reactions of things that people, you know, like when people said their chickens stopped laying eggs during the winter. Guess what? Chickens have always stopped laying eggs during the winter unless they lived in a southern or
That's
like an
weird.
equatorial hemisphere. Chickens don't lay eggs year round. They stop during the winter.
Yeah, it's not mating season. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's the thing. I thought I'd seen something on space.com. Let me see if I can bring this up for everybody. I gotta let's see, I'll move it over here on this side so I can look at it and see y'all at the same time. Yeah.
Work your magic, Dave. You can do it.
I'm doing it. I got this thing, man. Man, let me show you something real quick though. This is crazy. So, oh, where did I put it? Shit. Oh, it's in my lap. Oh.
Did you say fakelies.com?
What? Yeah, right. So I got these, man. I don't know if you can see that. This is a vape, and it's disposable.
Yeah, I got a couple.
But you
of
can
those. These are
charge
cool,
it.
man.
This thing is like 97%, and
Yeah.
it's fucking killer, man. I'm telling you what, this one's called Sweet Tooth.
Does it have two different flavors? Does it have two different cartridges in it?
No, just the one. I have this one.
I got one the other day that has two different flavors.
Molly
That has a
Molly.
gram of each one in there. I was like, no way.
Yeah, these things are nice, man. I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway.
Yeah, I think those disposable ones work better. I don't know why they seem to.
Yeah, they hit better, I think, than the one my non-disposable one.
So this one here says NASA spacecraft captures first photo of its giant solar sail. Now, what's giant solar sail? Could this be? I know it's made out of that reflective gold foil shit, right?
It looks like a Sprite to me. It looks like a big Sprite, doesn't it? Or like it looks like some electrical discharge between the domes.
You're getting a reflection.
Oh, it looks
right
like
there.
sprites. Yeah, sprites.
Look
Oh,
at
that's
that.
weird. That's a trip.
On
Yeah,
April
I'm gonna do
23rd,
That
NASA
just-
launched a solar sail prototype to orbit around our planet. Who's echoing?
I have no idea. Testing.
Let me see. Do you still hear me?
I still hear you. Yeah.
I hear you. There's no echo now.
All right.
It's gone.
Anyways, he says
I was trying to figure out what happened.
it could very well revolutionize the way we think about spacecraft propulsion. Then on what? Okay. Then on August 29th, the agency confirmed that this sail successfully unfurled itself in outer space, yet we still didn't have official photographic evidence of this for some time. And that's their photographic evidence right there. There it is, I guess, deploying in space.
Sure.
Okay. Now, as of September 5th, we indeed do. NASA has released the first image of the open solar sail, formerly called the Advanced Composite Solar Sail System, and stated that the
Composite.
space from which the sail was released will continue to send back more footage and data as time goes on. So they're going to use this to
make composites.
It's been slowly tumbling in space. The tumble is happening because as NASA explains in a statement, the spacecraft didn't undergo any attitude control post-deployment. This behavior is therefore expected. Of course, it's always, they predict. It's nominal, the team says. Operators will implement attitude control and stabilize the spacecraft after collecting enough data to paint a picture. Sure they will, of how the sail and the composite booms holding it together are doing. Hopefully, we will get some easier to decode images after stability is achieved. But in the meantime, let's talk about what we can actually see in this image. Yeah, let's see. What do we see in this image? See a piece of Reynolds wrap. No, you know what that looks like? You know them things that you can fold up and you can unfold them and they go in your windshield to sun protect your car?
Oh yeah,
yeah. The aluminum
Something
ones,
like that.
yeah.
Like a space blanket.
Yeah. Let's see. It says near the
with little
bottom.
bubble tape stuck to it.
Let's see. It says near the bottom of the image, one camera view shows the reflective sail quadrants supported by composite booms. While the top of the photo, we can see the back surface of one of the craft's solar panels. Most spacecraft are lined with solar panels because that's how they power themselves up, with sunlight. Okay, so that's what we're seeing. This is one of their solar cells, and this is the windshield protector.
Yeah, Dave, I remember when I was probably about 13 or 14, they were announcing these solar cells back then too.
I know.
Seen them.
I know. I remember looking into that, and I bought into it too. But then I often thought, okay, so that's pretty flimsy, fragile material, micrometeorites, all this other fucking shit that's out there. I see it getting tore up pretty goddamn quick. That's just my view on it. And I was really into this. I thought, one of the best ways to probably do it would be to have some kind of a large dish, a collector, right? A collector, because I was told that there was one hydrogen per square meter in space. That's what it was said to be. And I thought, what if you had this huge hydrogen collector and you wouldn't have to worry about wind resistance or anything else like that? You're in space, right? And so you turn that hydrogen fuel into fusion energy and fucking go to town, baby, right? And I remember this, I was probably about 13 or 14 when I thought that up, And no, the best they can do is Mylar sail. Oh, wait, is this an artist rendition of it? Let's see. I think we have an artist rendition. Wait.
Oh, it looks like a kite.
Look at that.
I know.
Look at that. And it's what? There's the light from the sun. Let me get this straight. The light from the sun is like wind or something?
Yeah, that's what they were saying when they first came out. Like, it rides the solar winds.
What is it? What medium is being moved to be solar wind? What actually is the medium that's being? When we have
they're
wind,
trying to say that
air
if you put heat on one side of foil in space, in a vacuum of space, that it causes the foil to flow away from the sun or from the heat source. That's what they're basically saying.
Oh, you do that? You ever seen Drake?
Like those little
Drake comes on and he's got one of them things that does that. It's a little paddle wheel inside the bulb and it does the same thing. So what? That's not space. Jesus Christ, come on.
Yeah,
how are you
exactly.
Gonna turn around? How are you going to steer that?
It's like one of those. It's like one of those kite things that has a motor. You know what I'm saying?
I think they've been smoking paint, man. I think they've been fucking smoking paint.
I've never smoked paint. Don't worry.
They've been snuffing something, bro, and lots of it.
Huffing paint. You ever seen them videos like on cops? They'd walk up on some black guy back in the alley someplace.
He's got different colors of paint all up.
You've been huffing, and he goes, "No," and he's got gold all over his face.
Yeah,
he's like all silver.
You just, I was just painting my face, man.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
I just wiped my nose by accident.
Somebody come up here and smear that gold paint up on my face and shit.
That's funny.
That son of a bitch.
Oh my God! So yeah, so here it's telling us this is.
Yeah, remember the old days when things were simple?
Got a cup of paint.
Okay, solar sail technology is
it
an
was
incredibly impressive concept, both in practice and in theory. Basically, it takes advantage of how photons, which are light particles, have the ability to impart pressure on an object despite being massless. Then that would indicate that photons have mass.
And what it pressures against has no mass.
Huh. That sounds like
Massless.
a medium to me.
What?
Yeah.
Despite being massless. Well, how the fuck does that work? Has the ability to impart pressure on an object despite being massless, other than through like with the black and white thing. That's really just it's absorption of light. That's not actually, that doesn't make any sense. So a solar sail looks like a flat sheet of material, not unlike a normal sail, and it can get quite large. That's what she said. In the case of NASA's Advanced Composite Solar Sail System, the sail is pretty much a square, half the size of a tennis court at approximately 860 square feet. 80 square meters in gay. Most importantly, these sails can hypothetically be attached to spacecraft of any sort, while sunlight particles sunlight particles
Okay.
beat
Alright.
down on the material. Sunlight particles, right on. Sorry.
Those are the protons they mentioned before.
And that's a good story, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wow. How much is one of these photon particles? So what did they call it? Hold on a second. Wait, what did they say those things were? Where I lost it.
Yeah, photons, I believe.
These sails can hypothetically be attached. Ability to impart pressure on an object despite being massless. I don't get that. Particles, light particles. You mean photons? Is that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what a light particle is,
They call
right?
it photons, yeah.
Okay, and so if they're massless, how are they imparting pressure?
Yeah, how do they bounce off of something that has nothing that exists?
Because of math.
Math of what?
No, math.
No.
Oh, math. Math.
Yeah.
You said
People are
math.
eating this shit up too.
Oh, yeah.
I would eat this up for, having thought this shit out as much as I have. I still had questions even then, though, when they were showing that bullshit of having like a bowling ball in the middle of a big rubber sheet. And I was like, well, fuck, what are you doing, man? Space isn't a goddamn net. It's not a rubber sheet. You're using a two-dimensional thing. What are you doing? That's stupid. And everything
That's the bending and warping of space-time.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is, how come they could never achieve an orbit in that? You know what I'm saying? It goes around a couple of times and crashes into the middle. It never does just keep going around, does it?
No.
Well,
So
and that's what they say is slowly happening. That is what they say, or some of them say is slowly happening.
Got that 3-body problem, man. Computer can't even work it out.
I was waiting for Luke to do his imitation of Luca. He does a good one. Hey,
So
Luke, are you here?
Look here. Thus, like a sailboat on Earth is a vehicle propelled by the pressure of wind hitting its sail. Sorry, man. I don't see photons.
There's no pressure in a
acting like
vacuum.
wind.
There's no pressure in a vacuum.
No, there's not. They can't even get a true vacuum here, anyways. I
No.
seriously doubt there's a true vacuum up there too. On top of that,
That's why I don't even call it a vacuum chamber. I call it a VLP environment.
Yeah.
Very low
pressure. I like it.
I mean, we got to start using the right shit.
Yeah, you're right.
And stop this circular bullshit that they've been using and trying to. And this is part of the terminology tricks you. The terminology tricks you.
Yeah, and they try to use it against you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you just got to understand that in a very low pressure, there is still pressure. There's something in there. There's still something in there. And if you drop 2 objects in there, that's no big deal because all you did was modulate the medium. Okay. So they'll go the other way. And
But
add
none
medium.
of it can ever exist without a container.
No, not one time ever.
No,
People can't get
that's
through
what's
it. And
crazy
it
about
really-
it. And that's what people can't get through their mind. Like,
It's thermodynamically impossible. What are the 3 types of thermodynamic system? There's closed, there's open, and there's isolated. And isolated is only theoretical. Okay. So the difference being that in an open system, energy and matter can both pass through. Okay. In the case of a closed system, energy can pass through, but not matter. So air, of course, they say is matter. And rocks from outer space are matter. So how are they, first off, rocks can't come through that. We can't go through it. There's no way that you could have a volume of gas without containment. There's no way. Otherwise, in an open system, the air would leave. be gone. History, archives, no more. And until somebody can successfully demonstrate that this, whatever they call gravity, will contain a gas or can prove that it pulls gas down, then it's never going to be. I'm sorry. And people can kick and scream and say, but look at the pressure gradient. I'm sorry, you have to have pressure in order to have that gradient. Secondly,
you have that pressure.
And this is the question to ask too, right there.
And that's the other thing I always say, and I'm sorry to cut you off, man, but a propane tank, man. If you've ever worked on a construction site, a propane tank, you grab that propane tank, shake it. Guess what? That propane inside that tank, it comes out as gas. It comes out as like a mist, like a gas.
Yep.
That propane tank, if you pick it up while it's full, before it's connected to a, whatever piece of machinery that it's gonna, give the fuel to.
Yeah.
Shake that thing around, you will feel liquid inside of it.
Yeah.
That
But
thing
here's
will adjust
what you got to do.
side to side.
Here's
And
what you got to do with them, bro. Is you just got to tell them, say, well, they said there's a gradient. Okay, well, prove that the gradient is caused by gravity.
okay,
I'm not
it's caused by the container. It's caused by the container.
There's three,
and there's no argument with that.
Factors. There's three huge factors involved: area of dispersal, temperature, and composition.
Yeah.
Okay. That's now. Can I prove that that increasing the area of dispersal will decrease the pressure of gas? Yes, I can. Can I prove that by decreasing the temperature, I can decrease the pressure of a gas? Why, yes, indeed, I can do that too. Can I also prove that by removing certain elements in a mixture that I can reduce the pressure of a gas? Yep, I certainly can do that as well. Now, prove that gravity is responsible for your gradient. You can't.
Can't do it.
No. The temperature has more to do with it than anything else. I could tell in our atmos. That's what the major factor I could tell.
Sure, and we start losing certain things. First one to be that with altitude that we start to lose is moisture. That's another thing.
Moisture, compression.
You're right on the ground. On the ground, also, you're right at the source of production for all the gases on Earth. Why wouldn't it be the heaviest concentration?
I don't see why not. Yeah.
It's just simple common fucking sense, man. No, gravity pulls on the air, and they start freaking out at the prospect of the fact that you're not getting out of here. Okay, that's just all. You're not getting out, not alive. Not alive, you're not. Okay, it's set up that way for
they're not going to space. You might be able to get out of here. You're not going to space.
I don't even think they can get out of here.
No, I don't think so neither.
And that freaks them out. And this is what gets me too, is because we know that there's been this ongoing thing by, I'll call them demons that inhabit certain people, I think, on this world that are and we know demons are the supposedly the disembodied spirits of Nephilim who have no place on earth or in heaven.
Yeah.
Okay. And they are the ones that want to wage war with God, but they have to get through the firmament in order to wage this war with God. And it pisses them off that they're blocked from being able to do that. That's what the big thing is, why they're trying to get out. And they freak out because they can't. They're trapped. Which I don't care. I'm trapped. Yeah, that's cool in my earthly body, but hey, good thing, because outside of here, I really don't think I could survive anywhere. So I think I'm in the right place where I'm supposed to be. And once I no longer incarnate this meat suit, then perhaps there's other places I can be.
I mean, I kind of feel like that about myself. I mean, I don't have to take anybody else's, opinions on things or anything like that, especially people that are trying to distract me from what I know is true.
Well, if
And
you think,
I think you know that. I think you know
Yeah.
that, and you know.
if you really think about it, it's like, okay, why would that be such a freak out to people that, hey, you're not getting out of here? You can't get
No,
out of
I'm
here.
fine
We're
with
covered.
it. I'm fine
And,
with
and
it.
it was, and to me, I'm like, well, I look at it like this. I'm like, well, where in the fuck are you going to go? Well, the first thing these jokers say is they want to go to these other planets. Well, wait a second. Based on some assumption or story that was given to you that these lights in the sky are somehow balls of terra firma that you can stand on and shit, where did you get that? You got to get off of that. And what would you do
Yeah,
once you got
no,
there
you can't.
anyway? What would you do once you got there anyways, if it was real, right? What would you do? Nothing, man. It get boring pretty fucking quick. I guarantee
They want to
you.
go home. They want a homestead.
Oh
on
my
Mars.
God. Yeah,
Grow
there you go.
potatoes.
Yeah, I got a patch of fruit. Come on, pioneers, come to Mars. You get 40 acres of a poop patch to grow potatoes in and a mule with a mule spacesuit. There you go. Good
That'd be fun.
luck.
And to be honest with you, Saab, I don't even think this is even the last step. Like, I don't even think we're like moving on to like this perfect peace. Like, I think,
Like nesting dolls?
yeah, like I
Yeah,
think we're probably gonna go somewhere deeper than where we're at these days, and I think it's gonna just, continuously kind of get to a point to where you're one with the universe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't mean to sound that
Well,
like
I mean, it's I'm just saying it's like, beyond the esoteric aspects of it too. The fact still remains that we wouldn't have this without it being contained. There's no possible way. And I'm sorry,
Nah.
the screeching
right.
and bellowing that gravity is your container for shit, that dog doesn't hunt. Okay. On so many fucking levels, it just doesn't hunt.
Well,
And so,
I know you're right on gravity.
yes,
Come on.
here we got gravity. I got some
Hello.
gravity. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
I was waiting for it.
I have a question.
All right.
I have one question. If you're saying that the Earth is in a container, is that
Yes, it is.
is that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, has to be.
Well, I went on Google, and
Uh-huh.
why is there no photos from NASA of this container?
Well, because they want you to believe that you can go beyond it.
But I've seen the Star Wars movies.
Yeah. Well, you got me there. Yeah.
Me too.
Tatooine.
Like, yeah.
Star Wars.
Hey, well, let me ask you, Luca. You remember when when Luke and Han Solo and them, they was getting shot at when they was trying to break Princess Leia out, right? And they opened up that panel and they jumped into that place down there where it was all that trash and shit and everything. What was that place that they jumped into?
It was in the Death Star.
Yeah, but what was the the thing they jumped into? It was a trash.
Trash compactor.
It was a trash.
It was the
compactor.
Like in
garbage
Australia, we call it
Okay, well, you
like a big
listen.
bin.
Both you and Cookie Monster have been Mandela affected. Both you and
What,
Cookie
really?
Monster have been Mandela affected because
I know it
watching
wasn't. It was
they're
a
in
laser
the-
thing or something silly.
No, they're in the garbage masher, the trash masher. That's what they
Yeah,
say.
the trash
Did they
man.
really call it a
Yeah.
master? I'm not
Something
Mandela
like
affected.
that,
I've just
man.
only seen that movie all the way through maybe 3 times.
Oh,
I mean, I've
no.
seen little bits of it 1,000 times, but I've only seen it all the way through maybe 3 times.
Holy shit! Rewind.
Remember, you gotta remember, I was
OPW.
born. I was born just shortly after this movie, or I was born shortly before this movie came out. So when I was like 5, 6 years old, you know, like I wasn't very old when it came out. So I didn't get to see it in the movie theater. I got to see it on television, and I only got to see pieces of it because they edit the crap out of it. That's why I have a different memory of it.
OTW is asking, what about this new rising Earth theory? I said, go ahead and rewind. We already went over that.
Yeah, you might want to rewind because we don't want to go
We already
through.
went over that nonsense. I'm tired of even fucking entertaining it, to tell you the truth. I mean,
It's the rising bread there.
I'm still, dude. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna come out. I'm a falling Earth believer, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just gonna go with that because, like, what the fuck? It makes.
You got to start your own
just as
cult
much
now.
sense as that
You're
it
just
does.
gonna go for that.
Like,
now make videos angrily declaring such nonsense, and there now
Yeah.
you're on the start. That's what you want to do, and do it
Yep.
so that
With an
it's
emphasis on the
you know,
angry.
I'm gonna start a cult, man. I'm gonna start a
Start
cult.
it with-
We're gonna be
and
the
also-
falling Earth believers.
make sure you can be
we're
as
doing it.
incoherent as possible too, you know, so that you can
Yeah.
sound like Shrek when he's angry, you know. Get out of my swamp, donkey. You know, it's just like
Yeah. Get out of my swamp, donkey.
yeah.
Donkey.
No, I've had some people that have actually gotten upset with me for, you know, saying that no, this is fucking stupid. And I say why. I've said several times why. And, you know, they get mad. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. If you want to believe that crazy shit, then by all means go right ahead. But myself, I stick with what I can actually is demonstrably provable. What we can actually
I think falling down Earth is demonstrably provable.
Well, there you go.
I think
Well,
it
now you need
is.
to
I think
get
it
an
is.
experiment together.
When it comes
You gotta-
to their parameters. I think
Well, you
it
want to
is.
drop a water bottle inside of a box off of a cliff and make your case.
How many ammeters are in a foot?
Let's do it, man.
Yeah,
That's
go
it.
for it.
I'm not in on it.
I'm not a
King
globe.
Lucas-
I'm
Of
not
course,
in the
I'm not
globe
in either.
anymore.
I mean, come on.
Oh, you're a flat earther now, King Luca? Here we go.
No, I'm a pair.
I thought it was
Pair
Queen.
earther.
So OTW, check it out, right? Think about the four corners as the cardinal directions. North, south, east, and west. Anyway. There's
Maybe King Lucas could get together with Matt over here and they could start a new whole religion of their own.
you could do that. You could do that.
Yeah, we can advertise for you.
You guys, you know,
Oh man, that would be awesome.
now
Yeah,
listen,
look. Yeah, come on, dude.
I'm kidding.
Let's downward Earthers all the way.
they need outfits, robes, or
Yeah.
hats.
I think it should be roller coaster. You should put roller coaster at the beginning, and then that'd be perfect. I'll join the cult if it's roller coaster.
Well,
Roller coaster.
I make it
Oh
a
man, that
steadfast.
would be awesome.
Yeah, meaning
It'd
it
be
goes
like
up sometimes and
Snowpiercer.
it goes down sometimes. It
It'd
goes
be
where
like
it wants to.
Snowpiercer. I mean,
Well, I
we
make
could-
it a steadfast rule to never join
roller
any
coaster.
organization that would have such low standards as to have me as a member. So that keeps me out of clubs.
Amen. I hear you, bro.
It's not the real Luke of Barb. It's not the real.
Are
Luke.
we actually fooled
What do you
somebody?
mean?
Nice.
What do you mean I'm not the real Luca?
You're so good, dude.
Your avatar's too good.
There you go.
Well, if you were
twerking.
if you were too good, we might think you're Luca, but you are doing a good job. You keep practicing, you'll have a
Only
song
one.
then.
There's only one Luca.
I'm pretty sure that's
I'm the
Ironworks.
one and only.
But that requires you to
Ironworks.
spend time with Luca,
No, it's not.
Is it not?
Nope,
It's not
or at least
Luca.
listen to it.
It's not Ironworks.
It's not Ironworks.
Nope.
I know
Take a
that's
guess.
Luca. I'm
Look,
saying.
Godheart Guardian says twerking Earth. We could have that.
Oh, nice. Is Miley Cyrus there?
Oh yeah, I like
twerking
a
Earth.
little shake. You know, yeah, that would be nice. A little shake,
that.
shake. And maybe if it was peach shaped, or instead of pear shaped, we could have some fun with it too.
What isn't it supposed to be like a pear? Isn't that what dumb shit
Neil deGrasse
Blake,
Tyson.
Yeah.
The head nerd in
Sort of
charge,
pear-shaped,
dude.
sort of bigger at the bottom than his on the top. He said.
Peach from Georgia Earth. There you go. Hell yeah, we'll just start
don't
making
forget
up
the
all
fuzz.
kinds of fucking shit. And this is the problem. You understand? This is the problem with people when they start taking shit and coming up with some idea and then treating it as fact. Okay.
Well, it starts with them taking themselves too seriously, I think.
You gotta stick with, is it like, for instance, I'm with this. Is it possible that there are other lands beyond Antarctica? Absolutely. I believe that's a possibility. Okay. Do I know it to be a fact? No, I don't. Not one bit. So I'm not going to claim that as anything. Okay.
Well, Luca changed his avatar. He's got a peach-shaped Earth there now. Or
there you go.
pear-shaped. Sorry.
Pear-shaped Earth. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's what it really looks like from space.
It's what
It's glass
Neil deGrasse Tyson just told
Oh my
me.
God. What was I watching? I watched Alien. A friend of mine come over the other night and he says, find something fucking crazy to watch. And I was like, all right. So I found Alien Covenant, right? And right off at the beginning, and that's what I thought was so funny about this story about the solar sail coming up, because that's exactly what they were doing when it malfunctioned. They were deploying their gold foil solar sail, looked just like this thing in there, just like it. And the one didn't deploy right and it was all fucked up, so they had to wake up the crew, and they were carrying like 2,000 embryos of people to be colonists on this new place, and then they, all the regular alien shit takes place. But let me see if I can find it from Alien Covenant. Yeah. Let me go over here. Alien Covenant.
That's quite a franchise, by the way.
I like Prometheus. Prometheus is a good one if you haven't seen that one.
Oh yeah, I love all the first Alien movie. I remember I went with my little brother and my dad to the theater one Saturday afternoon, and we saw Alien. And man, oh God, did that scare the shit out of me when that thing popped out of his fucking chest, And I was like, oh my God, that was something else. I'm trying to see if I can find a picture of.
I always think it's hilarious when the people share the meme on Facebook about the we found this new amphibian, and they show like that little thing that crawls into your chest, or the one that jumps out of your chest or whatever, but they show it always on them, like incubating.
So this was what they put out. This is what they were trying to deploy on this ship. Let me show you real quick. And the ship was called the Covenant. That's why they called it that. But look,
the Covenant.
What's that look like?
Yeah,
exactly the same. Now that movie was 2017.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just reusing the same old stuff.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It was this gold foil, but it fucked up when they opened it. And
I thought it was titanium or something stupid like that.
So then again, the gold foil saves the day for everybody. You got to have gold foil on your ship. There's Luke. Luke.
I wonder who that
means, Luke.
There's multiple faces.
Get rid of that Luca.
What's that?
You got rid of that Luca.
Oh yeah, that
Hey,
guy.
hey, do you guys want to hear a mind-blowing Mandela effect?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure, why not?
Come on.
This one's special for me because I think Brian asked me about the Luke 23:43 verse.
Oh yeah, I've heard you. Yeah.
Hadn't looked at it for a while.
23:43.
Which used to be, verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. And today changed to 2 day, 2 words.
Oh no, wait. What is it again? 23, 24?
Luke 23:43.
Yeah.
23:43. All right, so here's 22, 23, 23:43. And Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, 2 days. Wow. Yeah. Separated 2 days shalt thou be with me in paradise.
2 days.
Well, that's because TO is a direction toward.
Yes. It totally changes it.
Yeah, it does. That's really weird. I'll have to get my highlighter out and highlight that. Where am I? Here they are.
So we saw this changing in real time, Sov, because I was listening to one of PJ's streams. I was at the gym, and I texted, I messaged in the chat that this verse has changed, and he went online to the KJV, and it hadn't changed online. It was still today one word, but then when he opened up his physical King James Bible, it had changed. And then 3 days later, we went online, and it's changed online as well to 2 words.
Wow, that's nuts.
So we caught it in the middle of a change. So up online hadn't updated yet, but then by the time I looked again, it had taken the upload.
So ain't that crazy? I got this Bible that I marked up right here where we're at with, I got a whole set of different colored highlighters. So I highlight the verse, and then where it's changed, I highlight in a different color. So now I've got that one in there. I was not aware of that one. This thing's starting to look like I don't know, so many different colors in it now. It's starting to look like a pride flag, I guess. I don't know. That probably would be bad. Maybe I should just stick to 2 colors, right? Yeah, right. Well, hell, it's already become a blasphemous document with a lot of the Mandela changes that have taken place in it already. I mean, up to and including the use of winky face emojis.
Really?
I mean, it's incredible.
It's
some of the shit
exposing.
there. Huh?
It's exposing a lot of pastors because,
oh my God, yes.
Like if you're a Christian and you're supposed to be truthful, and someone points this out to you, you should be like, "Oh, wow, okay, you're right. What's going on here?" And then they should turn around and go, "Well, we know what God's word is. This is a book. This is a physical thing. We shouldn't be worshiping a physical thing." So that's not how they handle it. They just deny it.
Huh. Dave, can I ask you a question?
So I look at it this way. We can take a look at a number of different, and there with Isaiah 11:6, where it has gone to the wolf shall lie with the lamb, or the wolf shall dwell with the lamb. Okay. And I'm looking at some of these different pastors, up to and including Will Duffy. Okay, Kenneth Copeland, the guy that was there first. What was his name? Bob Enyart. I said Kenneth Copeland, right? All of these people, and it's like they are wolves in sheep's clothing, which is the first thing that came to mind when I heard about that Mandela effect. Now, Greg Locke, we remember when he debated Dean Odle, right? And then he kicked all them people out of his church and said, if you believe in flat earth, I don't even want you here. Get out of my church. Go now, right? And don't come back, he said. And then about a week later, the roof collapsed on his church, right? Well, here just recently, I saw a Facebook post and I reposted it. Let me see if I can jump down to it and find it here real quick. Here it is. Let me bring it up real quick. This was, it said that Greg Locke, it said this was on his page. And let me see, how do I make that huge? How do I make that big? I'm trying to go to the original post. Let me see, how do I do that? Okay, I guess I'll go to his page. Yeah, featured. He says, here we go. I got it. Bang. we was having technographical difficulties, mainly because I've been doing scientific experiments up here. Anyway, this is from Pastor Greg Lockett, and this was from yesterday at 3:29 a.m. It said it's 2 a.m., and for the last 3 hours, our home has been a full-blown crime scene. According to the security cam footage, we pulled into our driveway exactly 1 minute after a madman unloaded an entire magazine of bullets from an automatic weapon into our house, garage, and my truck. The sound on the video is truly horrific. Detectives will be there for a good while tonight. Only one of our kids was home, thank God, and not in the same area of the house. As you can see in the last pics, one of the bullets cut through the headboard of our youngest daughter's bed and lodged in her pillow. We are all being security escorted to a hotel tonight. We have no further details. The only detail that matters is that Psalms 91 is true and God protected us in unimaginable and supernatural ways. Please pray for the Locke family tonight. We love all of you. And here's a photograph of the bullet casings, crime scene. And let me see, I can make it full size. Let me get rid of that so I can, there. And then we've got, let me see, we want this. There's another photograph. It looks like Greg's right there. And no, that's not it. Greg, he's wearing black gloves. And it looks like, yeah, they're placing these yellow tags where there's shell casings at. And here's some bullet holes, apparently, looks like in the tailgate of the truck. And I guess that's the end of those pictures. Oh, there's two more. There's the headboard, I guess, that it went through. Damn. So I wonder what's up with that. I mean, that's kind of, and I view that guy as a wolf in sheep's clothing as well. You know, any of these pastors that are trying to push this satanic fucking globe bullshit on people, I think they're exactly that. They've outed themselves as far as I'm concerned. And the ones that won't acknowledge anything with the Mandela effect too. That I find very suspect. If I was a pastor, I would be proclaiming from the rooftops that what has been prophesied in the Bible is occurring right now. Take a look, people, right? No, none of them.
Correct. You know, it's an interesting, that verse as well. You flip it upside down, and what do you get? The Isaiah one.
9/11.
Yeah.
9/11. Very, very interesting. And a lot of the things that are changing, like that one there, that I wonder what I'm gonna have to think on that one for a while. What is the significance of that change? Because that's what I look at. What is the significance of that change? Because we know there's a message in this. And this is done obviously through some kind of an intelligence, a supernatural intelligence. Now, is it a benevolent supernatural intelligence trying to tell us that, hey, this thing is full of shit, watch out? Or is it just saying, hey, stop relying on the words that are in this printed publication and start looking into your heart? Because we know that God's word is actually written on the heart. It's not dependent upon some kind of a series of books that isn't even really a series. It's just a collection of books written at different times, different places by different authors, and then chosen by a council of people ran by a dictator in Rome. So I have to weigh all that in when I'm making decisions regarding it. You understand?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I believe the latter.
Oh yeah, I got to make sure that's in my calendar too. I got to make sure that's in my calendar, Rick. September the 16th, because I'm supposed to be doing an interview with Jaron, I think, this weekend too. So, but this weekend, but let's see, September the 16th. Let me pull up my good old trusty calendar. You all go ahead and talk while I'm pulling this up.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I got that. That's all set. See, I second guessed my own reliability on shit half the time. So,
It's always good to double check, right?
My thoughts, I think a lot in pictures, as well as I don't know how to explain it, thoughts, but it'll be like I think about doing something and it's so vivid me thinking about doing it that sometimes I think that I already went ahead and did it. You know, it's like, oh wait, no, I just thought about that was how I was going to do it. I haven't done it yet. Right on. Okay.
Who is David Foster for
Yeah,
VA1?
David Foster, what do you got to say? Come up on here with your being a scallywag. No, what's going on, brother? He's muted. He don't know he's muted. He don't care.
You scallywag.
So what do you think's behind that Greg Locke shooting up his house? I mean, somebody shot up his house. I know he's created a lot of enemies. This guy is challenged people in his church to fights and shit.
He probably did it for attention.
And then he dumped his wife and married the church secretary or some shit too. So I don't know. He had other people that he accused him of being witches and he was going to burn them out of the church and all kinds of crazy. I mean, this guy's a fucking Fruit Loop.
Yeah.
You know? That's why I was hoping you just, incognito or, just real quietly observe one of their services at Duffy's. I wonder if it's anything like that too, because I got to gander at that shit they believe about the fucking firmament being crust and shit. We looked at it on Flatfoot, and that was just some bozo shit, man.
Oh, we're still laughing about that. That's a new one. I wonder if that came from MC10 or not.
From meeting some of the people that were there, they seem pretty plain as it goes, but you can tell there's some like the girl that was running the Sunday school. She was a looker, dude. It's like he wants her there. He surrounds himself with it. Yeah.
You got to go see if you can get a date, Raj. Shit.
Oh, why not? Yeah.
There you go. Keep talking, guys. I'll be right back. I got to take this.
Get you some strange cult bitch.
Oh yeah. No, I think he's got his eye on her. It's what I'm looking at. Yeah. So he keeps the ones he's wanting to get with
closest to him. Yeah, of course. And got to impress,
Money. I'm sorry.
Well, that helps. Yeah, it helps.
I think Duffy doesn't really have any money. He's just rich on paper, dude. Like Trump. Trump doesn't actually have any physical money he can use. It's all in the name and at the bank.
He's a con, then. Yeah, he cons other people out of theirs. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know people like that. I've met people like that.
That's not true. That's not true.
Wait a minute. What?
Oh, it's Luca. He's back. It's not true. Trump's not a con man.
He's a lame Trump.
Oh, okay, I got you.
There we go.
Yeah, they're very nice.
You better get back, Moon Shadow. You better get back. You don't get none of that.
She was a nice looking dog, or he.
Oh, bacon hens for you.
Oh, Moon Shadow. Which one? The black one or the?
Yeah, the black one.
Yeah,
you had her on the video.
Yeah, she's a little sweetheart. She's a stinker though. She's a ninja. She's quiet as shit. Only time she barks is like when she goes outside and she barks at her own dog. But that's it.
Like, hey, you're outside. Roof.
I think other times she's like a little ninja. I'll be sitting there on the couch doing something. And all of a sudden I look over and she's sitting next to me on the couch. And I'm like, how the fuck did you get up there without me even noticing you? I mean, she just does that. I'll just look and all of a sudden she's just there. And I'm like, how did you? I don't know. And she's small for her breed.
Yeah.
She was a runt in the litter. So she takes advantage of it, man. I got to credit her for that. She's a good dog.
Oh, Ryan's in your chat.
Who? Hey, there's Burn Corporate Fiction. Link should be pinned up in the chat if anybody wants to come on up here. What was I looking at? Some weird shit here in the last couple of days. Oh, somebody was saying there's National Guard and people in hazmat suits and military vehicles across New York. Have you guys heard anything about that?
No, that's first of it.
Yeah, check this out. Oh, wait. I got to do this.
Breaking
Repeat that
news.
again? It was what? Breaking news. What now?
Breaking wind. Breaking wind today in New York.
We found the gas pressure. It was in the bottom.
Whoa, that's the Hummer, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a Hummer, Humvee.
York City, and we have videos like the one I'm about to show you coming out that really don't add up. Why is there a hazmat operations truck lining up with a bunch of other emergency vehicles in the middle of the street? Watch this and tell me what you think.
Guys, you see this, man? They ain't playing, man. They're getting ready for martial law. They are getting ready for martial law, homies. See this? Rescue operations, logistics. Look at this.
Oh, Lord.
They setting up martial law all over Brooklyn.
Right downtown,
New York City right now. You see this stuff? Look, you think we kidding? This shit for real, man. It's for real. Look at this. They're everywhere.
So what is
everywhere.
the screen?
All over. They're getting ready, man, because they know what's coming. Hazmat operations. You see this? This is all New York City Fire Department. Oh yeah.
I mean, I saw another video where there was military personnel all over in this motel or hotel, and there was, I mean, it wasn't just like they were just there. It was like they were running the place too, because the guy went in and they were like kicked back with their feet up on the desk behind the front desk and shit. And I'm like, wait a minute, man. You know, even if you're TDY and you're staying in a hotel, you know, because you get, you know, like daily room or something like that when you have to go somewhere for training, you don't get to sit behind the front desk and prop your feet up on it. I mean, that just doesn't take place. I don't know. It's weird.
Strange.
I think something weird's coming, man. I've been saying that.
Well,
hey, there's
I
Flat
mean-
Floyd.
What's up, Flat?
Hey, Keith, how we doing?
Yeah. See this shit happening, man.
New York
They're
City.
preparing for something big. Look, Manhattan Borough Command right here. See that?
That's what I like about this.
All
We
you're
talk
seeing
to
is
people,
military
you know,
around
okay,
too.
here's what we're being fed, and we
Yeah,
might
man.
know. We have chances of us knowing someone, you know, that's in that area that's watching. It gets greater and greater all the time. And it's like, hey, if you live around this shit, have you seen any of this kind of crap? Like Roger, we was asking him about the Hells Angels showing up all around Denver. And we figured out that, you know, no, that was dumb shit. There's not packs of Venezuelan gangs. It's like the same type of gang activity you would expect with the type of city and the management of that city is going to get. Pontiac, same way. Detroit's like that. I'm sure Denver's exactly like that. St. Louis is like that. There's gangs and that kind of
Just
shit.
because there was a couple of Venezuelan people there in the apartments doesn't mean that that's what the operation was.
I know. And they're really trying to make it look like something. And I have to think, you know, who would stand to benefit the best from making a crisis like this actually seem like it was real? I'll leave that for you to decide.
Preparing for something big. They got security guards everywhere, man. They got big things going on over here. Lots going on over here, man. A lot of stuff going on.
I just recommend staying aware myself, you know.
Start buying water.
Pay attention.
Start buying canned goods. Start buying everything you can and start saving that stuff. 'Cause I'm gonna tell you, when it starts, man, you don't think they're gonna put this on lockdown. Let me tell you something. When things go on in Colorado, if that happened in New York, remember, COVID, you're gonna be all on lockdown. They're gonna shut everything down again. Look, guys, the National Guard. National Guard is now
Monkeypox season.
all over
Hey.
Brooklyn, man.
I've heard about that.
There ain't no cops anywhere. It's only National Guard now everywhere.
There it is. And while that doesn't prove without a shadow of a doubt that martial law is about to be declared, I'm not putting it past them at all to have some sort of extreme false flag. In fact, we're already seeing signs of that. Then they can declare martial law and stop Donald Trump from becoming president. So pay very close attention to what's happening right now and what's going to happen over the course of the next few months. Make sure, whatever you do, to be following Hero Rumble with notifications on. I'm Matt Wass, and I'll see you in the next video.
So I also heard
It seems like
I also heard that there was a lot of National Guard had been deployed and shit like that, and the reason was because of possible riots that could ensue after they give Donald Trump sentencing, which I believe is this month sometime, isn't it? They're supposed to sentence him for these felonies.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I heard that was the reason there too. I don't know.
Well,
Do we have anybody on the ground in New York? Anybody that can let us know? Isn't that terrible that we got to actually second guess every fucking thing that we're told?
When I heard it was to stop Trump, I straight away went, okay, no, that's.
I was gonna say, why do we care either way? We know they're just puppets. Either one, either
exactly.
head that pops up is gonna be the same. It's the same zit we need to pop later, right?
Yeah.
Well, either way, they're both sides are controlled, and they're controlled by Israel. They try to make it look like you got two dynamics facing off against one another, but you really don't. All it is the same agenda. It's just what kind of spice do you want on it? You want straight up fascism for your Zionism, or do you want to go into Zionism using communism? Which way do you want your Zionist one world government? That's basically what you're getting.
How you going?
You don't have a say in it, really. Anyways, they show
your own slavery.
You've had a few heated debates with Ryan about voting and Trump. You making any inroads there?
No, I mean, I don't. My views have not changed on that. The fact remains that the voting machines have not been fixed. The issues that led to the cheating in the last election have not been addressed. No stopgaps have been placed in there. They're still arguing on whether you have to show ID or not. Same old shit that's always taken place. So if they did it last time and there were no repercussions of it, why would they do it this time with no repercussions to it? Nobody did anything last time about it. You can't do anything about it.
They have to have a narrative like that. They already know who's going to win. The presidents are selected, not elected, so they already know.
Yeah.
They plan a long way ahead.
Well, they're generating all kinds of loosh with this one. And I mean, they're really testing the bounds. There's some serious IQ tests have been placed out here. Some real heavy duty IQ tests, and a lot of people have failed. A lot of people have failed. If I was supporting a candidate pretending and thinking I had some kind of participatory role in the outcome, and I found out that fucking guy pulled a stunt like that shit in July merely for points, popularity, and photo ops, I'd be like, fuck that guy. How do I know that anything comes out of his mouth is straight up? It's not. It's not. So if he's a liar and he tells you he's going to do this, that, and the other, you already know it came from a fucking liar. Old lady, you knew I was a snake when you took me in. Now, does that automatically mean that what they're offering up as an alternative, as if you have a choice, is any better? No, she's just as useless. I mean, fuck, she's just as bad in a different way. But either way, they come out and they say that they're going to do all this wonderful shit. But when it comes right down to it, they don't have the power to do any of that shit. Not a bit. And we've told you all about that before. You know, somebody come in there with a bunch of grandiose ideas and, you know, here you go. And I'm sure that you mean all well, but we're going to have a little talk with you. And then they show you film of the Kennedy assassination taken from an angle you've never seen before. And say, there need I say any more? Okay.
Nope.
So no, they don't have this power that they can do all this wonderful shit. We're just going to automatically do this about taxes, and we're just automatically going to do this about that. And no, they're not, man. Their job is to figure out how to take more and more of your fucking shit. That's all. Hey, Andrew, how are you tonight, my man? Andrew. Typical teacher. Typical fucking teacher. What's up, Andrew?
Come on, Andrew. How you
Come
doing?
on, say something, my man. All right, Andrew's got.
Does he know he's on?
Andy.
I don't know. He should know he's on.
I hope so. He came in here, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he popped up backstage, and here he is. I don't know if he's teaching school and he's at a break, or if he's what he's doing. I don't know. We'll find out though. When he wants to pipe in, just go ahead and pipe in anytime you want to, Andrew. Because we're probably going to go another half hour, and that'll be cool. But yeah, I don't know. So I look at this shit with these troops in New York. Okay, well, we've seen a lot of weird shit going on here this last little bit, but as far as that shit with the elections, look, I don't even want to. If you feel like you're having some kind of a participatory act in the outcome, then by all means go right along for it. I, on the other hand, say that whether or not your guy wins or loses, you're still giving consent for the fuckery that comes about. I don't choose the lesser of two evils, because the lesser of two evils is still evil. Therefore, by not choosing evil at all, I have the moral high ground. There it is.
Nice.
The only reason I want Trump to win is just because of the comedy value. He's funny and it triggers the lefties hard. It's so funny. But that's the only reason.
Yeah, I got to say,
I
man,
like
he
him.
is entertaining.
I like him as a character, if that makes sense.
He's a WWF character for sure.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I used to love. I mean, I've been aware pretty much that they were puppets like that for quite some time. You remember the Genesis song "Land of Confusion"?
I do.
Yeah.
Do you remember the video?
Great. With the puppets.
I was like, yes, there it is right there. They're just puppets. Another good one too is, if you ever get a chance, go and look up the Fletcher Memorial Home by Pink Floyd and watch the video of it. It's the Fletcher Memorial Home for Incurable Tyrants and Kings. And it says, let's build them a home, a little place of their own. And they can appear to themselves every day on closed circuit TV to make sure that they're still real. And basically, it's like putting all these psychopaths away and let them play their fucking games with each other and leave us the hell out of it.
Well, they'll kill each other off eventually, right?
The Fletcher Memorial Home for Incurable Tyrants and Kings. And it's got like, Hitler bashing Churchill over the head with a rocket and shit, and they're just like running around this insane asylum, and there's like these attendants just watching them do it. It's pretty cool.
Hey, Dave, I put a little parody you might like in the private chat. It's a comedian by the name of JP Sears. He did a little parody.
I love JP Sears. Yeah.
You take a look. It's his latest one.
Where's that?
It's in the private chat.
Oh, is it the one where he's interviewing Kamala?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, we'll show that.
I thought
that's
it was
pretty cool. It's pretty cool. JP Sears is pretty cool. He rocks it. Hold on, let me stop this, and I have to move it over here. And then I gotta go like that, and then I gotta go like this. Then I gotta go like this.
It's like this and like that.
It would be like, yo. All right, this is
And
it.
that's the way you like it?
That's the
Highway,
way-
highway.
Hell yeah, Casey and the Sunshine Band, that was the shit back in there. Remember? Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight.
Get down tonight. Yeah, that was the shit. That's back when disco was cool.
But they didn't have much else to offer, did they?
I love I like funk, Earth, Wind, and Fire and shit. I like
Oh yeah,
that
me
kind of
too.
stuff, man.
Yeah, I do.
DMX,
All that orchestra bit mixed with yeah, all that. That's great.
dude, it blew Brian Staveley's mind that I like DMX. I was like, fuck yeah.
No way, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny that you thought that was great.
You're drunk right now.
And that's not going to change.
You kind of have a drinking problem.
I recognize the problem.
Fair enough. Okay, we're live. Kamala Harris, welcome. And I see you brought your emotional support dog with you today. She's great. Before I came in, your campaign staff out there gave me this list of really great softball questions that I'm allowed to ask. Help stay true to the spirit of journalism. So thanks for that.
It's why I love it when he does that news. You know, his
Yeah.
news programs and shit. He's always got that fucked up "We Lie to You" news. Yeah. He's always got that fucked up sports jacket on and some kind of funky ass tie.
Oh yeah,
With like fuzz all over the corner.
he dresses up, Nick. He does a good job.
His stance on guns took a 180 for the better. I mean, that was amazing to see.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
For that. Thought I might stray from the list just a tiny little bit. Now, I think you'd agree this is an intense election. Like recently, your political opponent, President Trump, was almost assassinated. And I am sure y'all at the White House are working tirelessly to find out who orchestrated this whole thing. Y'all have any leads about who did it?
We did it.
What? Who did?
Joe Biden and I, to be honest.
Really? He was shot.
I'll say that that's good work.
Oh, that's wow. I can't believe it. Do you feel any remorse?
No, not at all.
Oh,
There's more to do, but that's good work.
wait. So you would try it again?
Yes, I would.
Seriously?
I would. I think
Obviously, the guy you used on the first try wasn't successful. So who would you use on the next attempt?
no one in particular.
But I'm sure you've discussed who it might be. Did you talk to Hillary? She have anything to say about it?
Oh, she had a lot to talk about.
Of course.
That's fucking crazy, man. This is shit.
She did. When did you talk to her?
It was a Sunday.
Good God, that's even more demonic. Tim, are you on board with all this?
I think people know who I am.
Yeah, they
Tampon.
do. You guys could
Who's
go
that
to
guy?
prison for this.
Tampon.
Next question.
What'd you say his
You'll
name
get
was?
it.
No, seriously, this is a major
He's your next vice
crime. This is a big
president.
deal. One more question on this, please. All right, your resting bitch face tells me you really want to move on, so we shall. Let's talk about moving forward. You make a lot of great promises about what you'll do if you get into office, but you've been in office for almost 4 years, and most things have objectively gotten much worse. The border, crime, inflation, it's pretty bad. How could you let this happen?
In large part, all of that because of mismanagement.
Yeah, I guess that would be it.
That is the reality of it. And 4 years of being vice president,
But I'd like to imagine how you will do things has no correlation to how you've always done things. So if you do win this definitely not rigged election, what would you do specifically to fix all the problems in our country?
let me be very clear.
Mm-hmm.
When we do what we have done, I believe it is very important that we take seriously what we must do and how it does so matters. And to do that, we can do what we have accomplished thus far. But I will say this. So I'm very clear about where I stand. My values have not changed. I kept my word and I will keep my word. When we do what we did, which is part of the American dream.
It sounds like a very well thought out strategy. If you win, will that be like a bill you sign or something?
I will
Yeah,
make
right,
sure that
that's
it comes to my desk and I would sign it.
Very good. Now that we clearly understand how exactly you'll turn the country around. Tim, I forgot you were alive over there, buddy. As governor, the accomplishment you're most known for is getting tampons into all the boys' restrooms in schools.
We did it in Minnesota.
You sure did. And you did it when nobody else wanted to. People were saying things like, it's unnecessary or it's a stupid idea. But you knew the importance of it. And presumably, this came from your positive exposure to tampons during your formative years as a boy. What did it mean to you when you put your
Wow,
first
that's
tampon in?
It was just such a visceral, emotional moment that I'm just
I bet.
I'm grateful I got to experience it.
I think history is going to show that in so many ways it was transformative.
Yes, I think we're all touched by Tim's bravery around tampons. But now let's close with some rapid fire questions. Kamala, who's the biggest dipshit you've ever known?
Well, my first thought was not about me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, no, I meant the biggest dipshit you've ever known, aside from yourself.
I have served with President Biden for almost 4 years now.
Right. Now, you've known the Obamas for a while now. Did Michael confide in you when he wanted to transition to being a Michelle?
And the phone rang, and he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, "Are you sure?"
What'd he say?
And he said, "Yes."
Fantastic. Now, Madam Vice President, on the monitor, you can see you in the process of...
Oh, Lord.
Montel.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
This is what the process looks like.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We got us a hoe. We got us a hoe.
Sleeping your
One
way
day
that's
we
the
have
plan.
boy,
We have a
the
photograph
next day
of
we have girl.
you with Montel Williams and another side girl. Have you seen this photograph before?
But I did see that photograph, and I was deeply touched by it.
The left criticizes Trump for sleeping with side girls.
I bet you was deeply touched.
But you are a side girl running for the same presidency. How does that feel?
It's very humbling. It's very humbling in many ways.
Do you have any morals?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Fair enough. Kamala and Tim, you both come across so well on camera. Fantastic, actually. Thank you for taking the time to sit down and just be so interesting.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you.
What? Tim Waltz is thanking me? What an honor. You know what, Tim? You're welcome. And thank you for all your service overseas.
What service overseas?
Well, there's no question.
Oops, that was a Freudian slip.
And whatever happened to Montel Williams? I haven't seen him in forever, dude.
What?
I thought they cloned him and killed him or something. Or, I mean, unalived him.
You really got them dudes on there, man? You got Rudy Sarzo on with me on that day, Cryptrick? Tell me you shitting me, man. No doubt, I know Rudy Sarzo is an amazing fucking bass player.
Huh. Nice.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, I hope you're not shitting with me, man. That's fucking awesome. That is awesome. Oh, man. So my wife recorded me today, and I was just practicing my guitar. I was just sitting there fucking around playing, and she recorded it. I didn't finish the whole thing, but I'm going to bring this up and let you go ahead and see it.
I want to.
It came out pretty good, I think, so I'm just going to go ahead and probably record it. Let me see. Oh, she sent it to me. Where did she send it in? Oh, wow.
It's next to the moon rocket footage.
I got it right here. All right, I got to unmute the thing.
You know, my friend Dave's here, and he said it's a Dave thing.
And Dave is here. Dave is part of the coalition of Daves.
Oh.
Okay.
No, my friend Dave that's here with me in the room with me.
Oh,
his
okay.
name's Dave as well, but yeah. And he said it's a Dave thing. That's what he just said.
Yeah. David Foster's here too, and he's part of the Great Council of Daves. We have this like.
I know
this
we're gonna have
special
to
thing
start
going on.
putting a ranking order or something, so
Yeah,
we can
man.
figure out who's who.
Absolutely.
One of the best bosses I ever had was a Dave. Yeah.
This is the alpha male cave for all Davids.
Dave's not here, man.
There's no
So,
Daves
yeah,
in this room.
This actually came out pretty good, I think. I don't know. Let us be able to hear it or not. Let's see.
Baby, I've been here before. I need songs that I walked this far. I used to live alone before I knew you. But I've seen you fly upon the ark, and love is not a victory march. It's cold and it's broken. Hallelujah.
And I was trying to think, oh yeah, what's that next verse? And then I looked over and
Very
she
nice.
was recording. I
Very
was like,
nice,
oh,
mate.
cool.
Very nice.
Thanks. I was like, I didn't know. I was just playing. I said, oh, did that sound any good? And she goes, yeah, that's why I started recording it. I was like, oh, okay.
Hey,
That'll
Dave,
work.
did you notice something different about the high school shooter in Windsor, Georgia yesterday? About that one thing that's unique about that whole incident is they took him into custody. When was the last time a school shooter was ever taken into custody? They're always
Last year, that kid up in Michigan,
yeah.
they took him in. What was his name? Crum, I think was his last name.
I didn't know that.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
took him into, and then they were charging the parents. They were going after the parents for having the gun that the kid had access to.
Oh, okay. I vaguely remember that one.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
my
David.
point is this.
David Foster. Hey, the whole reason I came on is because you came on. Are you the real David Foster who ran for Congress? Or are you just
Yeah.
playing some kind of name?
Yeah. I'm not the famous David Foster in Malibu. Songwriter, music composer.
No, the one who's in Virginia.
Correct.
Cool. That's all I came in to validate.
Are you serious?
I just wanted to validate that. I was like, who is
But
this
what is
guy?
that? What
What
is
city
that?
do you live in?
What does that mean?
Colorado. Aurora, Colorado. The
Oh,
shittiest
okay.
place in the fucking country right now.
You're not in Virginia, but you're in Colorado.
Correct. But I know that
Okay.
Sav is in Virginia. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, I'm in Virginia.
That's
too.
all.
So, what I was saying, David, is I wonder if we can get a confession from this shooter to tell us who his handler was,
No.
because that's what it's
No.
all about. The deep state.
There'll be an
is all
accident. Don't worry.
No, look, here's what's going to happen. Whatever you hear is going to be exactly what they want you to hear. Okay? It's not going to be any different from any other time. I haven't even looked into this event. I really haven't. You know, I said, oh, there was a school shooting in Georgia. I went, oh, okay. Okay. I probably look into it probably tomorrow. I'll get into it and see what I can find, all the details of it, because that is where you find the devil, is in the details. Just like with the Nashville shooting, we found all the devil was in the details, and we totally debunked that whole thing. So
Well,
I'll
did
look
you
into
see
it.
Jason Aldean was on Tucker Carlson the
Oh,
other
God.
night, or I just saw it the other night. It's probably, I don't know when it took place, but apparently I didn't know this. The Vegas shooter was shooting for as much as 25 minutes. What?
Yeah, that guy Paddock. Was that the one in Vegas you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I knew the sheriffs got up to the floor and they took a while before they went in, which is obnoxious. They,
Mhm.
that was their job, to bust in and stop the shooting. But for 25 minutes, he unleashed, injuring 800 some odd people.
Whoa. That's a lot.
And the chief of police in Vegas at the time was the same chief of police in Maui during the do.
Mm. I found a thing about that today on Maui. I'll pull that up in a
Directed
minute.
energy weapon. And Lahau, or whatever that town was.
Lahaina.
Lahaina.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I think it's no, not there. Damn it. Is that it?
So my friend in Colorado, how was it you heard of me in Virginia running for Congress?
I just, dude, I'm a fan of I'm a mod on this channel, and I Google people who jump on.
Oh,
So
I got you. Oh,
That's all.
okay.
I just wanted to check your name, see if this is the same guy or some spoof channel.
See, that's what David Weiss and Dave here and others say. Never trust what people say to you or what you see. Always do your research. That's why flat Earth is so important.
I would rather be upfront as quick as possible and just
Well, that's
check that
amazing.
off my list, dude. I have
would have
nothing
never-
against you. I have nothing against you. I just wanted to check that off.
No. That's cool. I totally think that's cool.
Check.
Dude.
So here's exactly what you were like just talking about too. So check this out.
Stunning to monitor the media's lack of interest in the whole Maui story. I've been in this business for 30 years. I'm stunned, but I'm not surprised. The incident seems to be the story here, right? But the true story, the media knows it is not allowed to tell. Is it a coincidence that the Maui police chief is the same man who was in charge in Las Vegas during that massacre that killed 58 people? Is it a coincidence that the Maui property, owned by million and billionaires, wasn't touched by the flames while homes of the locals all burned?
What she fails to also mention is how the media hasn't even once interviewed a grieving parent. Not a single parent looking for their children. Not a single interview with a child. Not a single interview with the schools.
Was it a coincidence that the largest system of outdoor emergency sirens in the world never made a sound as the fire devoured Lahaina? Was it a coincidence that at the same time, very same time, all the water
We need
was...
to talk about this, Roger.
Was it a coincidence that police were ordered to block off streets and to funnel all the cars trying to escape? Think about this coincidence. That governor also signed an emergency proclamation on July 17th, 3 weeks before the fire, about housing of all things. Is it a coincidence that the government put up a black fence around Lahaina, or that the FAA grounded all drones from flying over the affected areas? Is it a coincidence that since at least 2011 there have been plans to make Maui the first smart city run by 100% renewable energy? And that it must be a coincidence then that the locals whose homes did not burn are now being evicted from their property. And of course, a total coincidence that all the fact checkers who are checking these facts, who say everything I just told you is just a coincidence, are also owned and run by BlackRock.
There it is.
Yep.
She's
You
dead.
got one.
What's
Yeah.
BlackRock?
Yeah, that's you know.
Sorry,
that's-
guys.
Is that heroin stuff?
There's
What?
one thing they missed.
I'm kidding.
There's one thing they missed though. Oprah Winfrey is buying up all the property up there too.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things. Now, this is something that's I found this girl was talking about this, and it kind of resonated with me because I think this is a place where a lot of us here at this channel are at, where we just kind of like, all right, I need to question everything. Anyway, you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it.
Is anyone else like too aware? Like I'm too aware that this is all temporary. This is all part of the human experience, and that nothing matters, and that everything is subconscious programming, and everything is made up. Like the days of the week, that's made up. Monday, someone decided this day is called Monday. This day is called Tuesday. It's all made up. Like humans made everything up. Like money, it's just made up. It doesn't mean anything. Like there are so many different things, like road signs, the street names. Like somebody just decided this street is named that name. Like it's so stupid. Like it's really hard for me to live my life and just be a normal person because I'm just too aware. I'm always seeing things from a background perspective. Like I'm seeing everything. I'm seeing through the programming, seeing through the matrix. Does anyone else know what I'm saying, or am I just crazy? Please help me out.
You crazy.
I'll go both.
No, man, I gotta say, I'll be doing like what she's saying. This is why I relate to it. I'm like, well, who in the fuck decided to call that? How did that get to be that called that?
Somebody had to.
Somebody had to be the arbitrator of that. It's like, even if you think about this, right? Every state has like a bird and a state tree and all that other bullshit, right?
And a flower too, yeah.
Who the fuck is in charge of that? Who's in charge of deciding that? Who decided that? Who got to say, hey, this is going to be like.
In one of my previous lives, I did
That's
that,
probably-
by the way, just so you know.
The state legislatures did that.
Yeah, but why do you have to have them? Even, I mean, think about that. Why do you even have to have like a state tree and a state bird? And I mean, isn't that kind of dumb? Really? I mean, what's that supposed to be about? And what gets me is they got Canadian geese. All right. Well, I've seen they're not just Canadian; they live here too. All the time.
Good one.
So you see them all over golf courses,
in
even in
Canada,
Virginia.
they have the American goose, eh?
They do.
Yeah, well, you can tell, or else they'd have a green card, right? They're just immigrant geese, fucking illegal immigrant geese
Damn
coming
birds
in here.
keep flying over the border.
Oh, look at them! They just shit all over the golf course. They just come in here through our open border and take advantage of our luscious ponds and then shit on our golf courses. This is what they don't appreciate. This is why illegal alien Canadian geese, they need to build some kind of wall to stop them from coming, man. That's what it is.
They're spreading bird flu too. Think about it. Mr. Foster there. Mr. Foster could run a campaign. We could get rid of America of Canadian geese.
Yeah, we got that shit coming too. So did you guys hear that Trump's talking about bringing on Elon Musk, right? Some of the craziest shit, and having an what is he calling it? A government efficiency commission tasked with conducting a complete financial and performance audit of the entire federal government. Elon has agreed to head the task force. Now, the first thing that came to my mind was, you remember in Office Space when those people were in there interviewing each one of the fucking employees, asking them, what their job function is, and they were all worried about the downsizing, right? I could picture that scene right there. Is like, what is it you say you do here? And that guy's like, oh, I'm a people person. Freaking out.
Yeah. My question, the second one would be, is what does Elon Musk have to do with any of this at all? Why is he getting involved in it?
Because he's donated millions and millions of dollars to Donald Trump's campaign.
Elon Musk is nothing more than a spokesperson.
Yeah, I know.
He's fucking
another
moron.
actor.
Yeah, he's not the.
Damn it, I was going to say that.
He's just another actor.
He's not the genius everybody thinks he is. I can guarantee.
Absolutely, he's a moron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a low IQ moron.
And he's more off than he is on. I can tell you that.
He's Jew-ish.
Well, I don't care about that. Are you Zionist?
What about a Zionist Jew? Yeah.
Well,
fourth, at the suggestion of Elon Musk, who has given me his complete and total endorsement. That's nice. Smart guy. He knows what he's doing.
He's such a smart guy.
Very much appreciated. I will create a government efficiency commission tasked with conducting a complete financial and performance audit of the entire federal government and making recommendations for drastic reforms.
That won't cost much.
Do it. Can't go on the way we are now.
well, if you remember when Elon first got a hold of Twitter, among changing the names was only one of the things he did. He went through there and he quote unquote trimmed the fat. He's like, we don't need this. We don't need that. Get these fucking people out of here. You're out, you're out, you're out, you're out. And it really pissed off a lot of people, but he's streamlined. And that's your right to do as a business owner, I would imagine. But was it him that really did it? I doubt it. He's like y'all was saying, he's a front, he's a mask, he's a puppet for someone else. Just like this clown is.
The top three: Vanguard, State Street.
Yep.
Salesman.
BlackRock.
Trump's the ultimate
Vanguard.
salesman.
No. It's Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock. That's those three.
Yep.
And listen,
What
they're
about
running
Goldman?
the whole fucking show. They're running the whole fucking show. You know, because look at this guy, man. He's don't worry none about being out in public anymore at all. Even though there was, supposedly people have been tried to shoot him, he's fine. That's because he's so brave. You see, that's what it is.
But they caught that guy. Remember, they caught him, so he can't hurt him anymore.
Yeah, but the Iranians. What about the Iranians?
They love him, don't they?
Oh, he's a bit dude.
And Elon, because he's not very busy, has agreed to head that task force. Be interesting. If he has the time, it'll be a good one to do it. But he's agreed.
Now, see, that's.
And
This
two
was- that
people
was
in the
from-
crowd clap, right?
It's
He has the
uh,
time.
yeah, that was from Whitney Webb. She
Wow.
said the millions Musk is donating to Trump is also sure to do wonders for Musk's planned Everything app, also known as American WeChat, that he plans to be at least half of the U.S. financial system. So
Yeah, he's going to put it all in his pockets. What he's going to do.
yeah, these people, none of these people, these fucking people don't do shit like this unless there's something to that's to their advantage to do it. And that's it. It's just like when it comes right down, even to this, the free expedition. Okay. That's like, wait a second. Nobody just pays for people to fucking go. Nobody just does that, especially when they're, potentially going to be costing thousands of dollars. How much? Dude, none of it makes sense. Rich people just don't do that. I'm sorry. And then come
nothing to
across
gain.
as though you're some kind of a fucking Smiling Bob preacher, and you get caught lying fucking 1,000 times, and it's like, dude, come on, give it up.
Well, he's playing with the big boys, ain't he? That's what I heard. He got caught. So.
Well, that's the whole thing right there. I can't see somebody that's going to be an actual. I can't understand how there can be the Christian bankers. Okay, how do you do that? How do you do that when usury is a sin?
It's also fraud.
Yeah, which is what makes it a sin.
You can.
Well, the way they
convert
lend
to
out money.
Judaism.
Oh, and I had two people talking at one time. One at a
Sorry.
time.
You go, Roger.
I was saying you convert to Judaism and it's no longer a sin. You become a Jew.
Oh, it makes it okay then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember that Seinfeld episode where Jerry's dentist converted to being a Jew so he could tell Jew jokes?
No, I haven't seen that one. I gotta watch it.
That was hilarious. Yeah, Seinfeld. I like that show pretty good. It was pretty funny. I'll tell you, I've gotten on a thing here recently. I started watching the old TV show Taxi. You remember that one?
Reverend Jim.
Yeah, and I got
Danny
up to
DeVito.
Yeah, I started like right at the first episode, and I've been watching it a couple episodes every night or so. Like while I'm winding down, and I got up to the one where the first introduction of Reverend Jim was there. The first time you ever saw Christopher Lloyd come on the show. And it was an episode where Lodka, the mechanic guy, the foreigner, immigration was looking for him because they were going to deport him and shit. And so they had to get Lodka married to an American citizen so that he could stay in the country. And anyway, make a long story short, they hired a prostitute to marry him and, be a green card wife. And Bobby, the wanted character, says, oh, I know there's this reverend that hangs out down at the bar. A little while later, he showed back up with Reverend Jim. And that was the first episode that had him on it. It was pretty funny. It was a pretty good one. But man, watching that shit and how long ago it was, man, there's a flood of fucking memories and nostalgia and shit come flying through you, man. It's really something else. You know, it's almost difficult to describe. Look at there. Uh-oh, y'all. Here he is. Quit talking about him. What's happening, Ryan? We weren't talking about you. We were talking about Will Duffy.
Hey, did you see that journalist asked Bobby Brown to use the word dictate in a sentence? You know what he said?
He said, he said, she'd say my dictate just like chocolate.
Kamala said my dictate good.
Really?
That's an old, that was an old Little Rascals joke. I used to tell that one.
I know. It's a Little Rascals joke, but I didn't want to include the little kid on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Good idea.
Okay.
Okay, but
That's pedophilia, man.
Hey, Ryan, is your microphone working, bro? I haven't heard a peep out of your avatar. It hasn't even flickered.
Yeah, you just.
Are you talking to me?
Oh, there. Yeah. No, the other Ryan, my Ryan. Burn the
No,
corporate.
everybody was speaking, so I just.
Yeah, what about my Ryan?
Fuck you, Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No, I just, I'd figure I would say hi when I was acknowledged. That's cool. Hi.
Right
How
on,
are you
I
guys?
said, hey.
Hey, Ryan.
That's why I said there he is. Everybody quit talking about him.
I know my computer froze up when you said that. Which
Oh,
was
shit.
convenient. Yeah. So I just figured you would readdress me. I don't know. But how's everybody doing tonight?
Fantabulous, man.
Yeah, same here. Got a couple extra paid days off of work because of some exigent circumstances, and was bored tonight. Seen you had a stream going, was listening here and there between hanging out with Michelle and talking to one of my brothers, and just figured I'd pop on and, hey, if I can contribute and without derailing, I will. And if not, then,
Hell
might as well
yeah.
be a part of it, right?
Well, we've been rail free up here tonight. We've been having a good time. I don't know if you caught the earlier part of the stream where I was comparing the formula for weight and the formula for force, and showing that weight can be shown as a force using both formulas. So it's kind of interesting. You can go back and check out the beginning of it when you get a chance. I found this. What's it? Go ahead.
What's the summary of it, real quick, just so I.
Well, okay, so all right, so the formula for force, right, is mass times acceleration, right?
Okay.
And the formula for weight is said to be weight is equal to mass times gravitational acceleration. Okay, so
it's the same thing.
It's
minus
the same
gravity.
thing. Right. So even regardless, so if I pick my direction to be down in the force formula, right?
You're asserting a cause by calling it gravitational acceleration without any
Exactly.
evidence whatsoever.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. You're just slipping that in there like nobody's going to notice. It's gravitational acceleration instead of just acceleration ? The fuck,
So then it comes down to what exactly is weight, right? And we were talking about that the weight is merely the relative density of an object within a given medium. So in other words, if you increase the density of the medium to the ratio of density of the object, then its rate of acceleration or weight is going to change. And it's interesting because gravitas means weight. So when they say things fall because of gravity, they call it fall because of weight. So what's weight actually doing?
Actually, I have an opinion.
Disequilibrium, is it? What?
I have an opinion on this. Of course, it can only be as such, but it's based on all of my knowledge that I actually know, the way that, life is electromagnetism, has to be, right? So what would create density? It would be the electromagnetic interaction between each, I guess to say, microcosmic part of a
more shit packed into a space.
Well, right, but I think it has to do with the electromagnetism. If you think about it, right? So, like, even though atoms are bullshit, the basic principles of magnetism are the
Oh
same.
yeah, that's what holds everything together. Yeah, 100%.
Right, it holds it. So it's the interplay between the positive and the negative that would obviously create the density. Right. In which direction? Well, I would say probably more negative would be more dense. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
That would stand to reason, but I don't have any particular proof. But I would say that it would all relate to electromagnetism and, like, you know, how many particles are
Well, I would definitely say that,
compiled
that
into
is.
one.
I think that I would definitely say that that sets the direction, but ultimately, what determines it is the buoyancy of an object within the given medium.
No, the medium, yeah, absolutely.
You know, either the object is like I explained it earlier. It's like, okay, I've got a scale. Okay, on this side right here, I have the medium, and we're just going to give them values. And on this side right here, I have the object. So on this side, I have a value of 4, okay? And this is the medium. And on this side, I have a value of 5. So what's going to happen, right? So if I switch that, it goes the other way, right? Now, if I put them both the same, what's going to happen? They balance. They're going to balance. So I think that the condition is set through the electrostatics as buoyancy and density sorts it already out. Initially, that was the set vector because that's where everything is at. But I had some people flipping out on Facebook that the prospect that weight is a force. And
So
I said, I just calculated it as a force right there. Because
here's where I made my statement, just so you can realign your rebuttal is, I make my statement from the point of a glober, which obviously everybody knows that I'm not. But what they're looking at, and I've often understood this, and that's what caused me to think about it, is what causes density? What causes something to be dense in a medium? And I feel like that can, well, I think, not just feel like, the feeling started first, and then I thought about the feeling, and now I've arrived at a thought. It has to be the interplay of electromagnetic dynamics.
It is in the respect that it allows the moles to be more tightly packed.
Right. And so when we think about, like, the increase of temperature, for instance, which would be considered positive, everything becomes more spacious and spread out from one another. Right, which would decrease the density of the electromagnetism within that matter and medium.
Right.
And then when something decreases in temperature, it obviously solidifies and starts to become, well, dense, right? Within the medium outside of it that's not experiencing the same electromagnetic phenomenon, right? And then would cause it to obviously not be able to maintain homeostasis within that medium and then fall to arrive at its relative density, right?
Well, wouldn't the density of the object be hard to charge, and the less denser objects will be easier to charge with the static electricity or the electrostatics, right?
Well,
yeah, actually, well, think about a balloon. Think about a balloon. What happens when you touch the outside of a balloon? What's your hair do?
Well, it jumps off my head. Like, hey,
right. It starts to rise because helium is a very, very low density material.
Comparably, yes.
Well, it rises until it reaches its RDD, right?
Well, until it reaches the equilibrium. I guess that would be RDE.
RDE. Yeah, sorry.
Right.
Misspoke.
Because that's what
Yeah.
everything's wanting to seek, an equilibrium. Everything is wanting to seek an equilibrium. So in equilibrium, the displacement is null because of the fact that it's accepted. It supports itself. There it is. That's what it was.
I think in higher density objects, there's more of an electromagnetic interaction between the polarities. In a less dense object, there is much less of an interaction between the two polarities, which causes it to not have as much energy or force and cause it to rise. That's just my I don't know shit. I'm just a guy with, you know, a GED.
Well,
what do I know?
What we know, density is mass over volume. So, like I've stated, like I've shown before, like this pack of cigarettes right here, theoretically, well, not theoretically, in reality, right now, where this box of cigarettes is at, is a hole that this box of cigarettes is in. It's in a hole that's the exact same shape and size as this box. Now, if I were to take that material that makes up that hole that this is taking up, and I compared the relative density of the two, this one's going to win. It's more dense than this one, obviously, because there's way more moles packed into the same amount of place than there is here, than the stuff that is would fill it if it was not in its place.
Right. But I guess what I'm trying to get across is like sort of like this is like the greater the electromagnetic interaction between the polarities in an object, the more dense that it is. You know, so take like if you fill a balloon with air, right? It's going to sink to the ground, but it'll float for a certain amount of time, right? Like just normal like air from the atmosphere, right? And
It's ultimately the containment of the balloon that becomes the actual weight. The
Right.
air itself is
Because,
not
yes.
exhibiting any weight really, because it's already in its own equilibrium.
But
it's the same air that you have outside here.
That's
So what
exactly right.
causes
Yeah,
it-
exactly.
so
Yeah.
the balloon is what drops. That's why it cracks me up. These people
Yeah.
talk about a helium balloon in a fucking vacuum chamber.
Well,
They say,
so
well,
the-
it drops, and I'm like, that's the balloon dropping, not the helium.
But the helium itself within the balloon, there is such a displacement of electromagnetic interaction because it's primarily positive, right? That causes it to, there's not as much, let's say, battling going on. And because of that, which actually fits esoterically with just the idea of peace, right? There's not as much battling going on. So necessarily it rises above the general material to reach its RDE.
Yeah, you're onto that. You can verify that even by looking at the periodic table of the elements and what the primary plus or minus to these elements actually are. And you'll find that your lighter elements are much different than your heavier element, your more dense elements. And there again, you're on the right track, because that is ultimately what bonds them together in a denser state.
Is the
They're more
contention between the polarities, right?
It's more compressed, you know. It's like if you take a loaf of bread, right, and you compress it down right there, you just made that whole loaf of bread more dense than it was by taking out all the empty space that was in the bread.
Well,
so consequently, if you made a whole loaf of bread out of that squeezed up bread, it would be a much denser solid object than the loaf of bread was in the first place.
Well, let's take the English language and apply it to that test using an esoteric line of thinking and say, okay, well, helium always rises to the highest parts of the atmos, right? So what's the very first part of helium if it were to take it as a word, right? That's the whole thing, is heal, right? Is heal positive or negative?
What do you mean? Oh, toward the ground, heal?
No,
like
helium.
I don't get what
that would be a positive.
Right, it'd be a positive. But that's just how they like. So the heel, the reason that they call the heel on your foot the heel is because it's part of the soul. So that's that. Yes, you're right on track with that line of thinking. But that's like there's circumstances to that, right? So it's the foot, and the foot's what connects you to the earth, which again goes back to frequency, which is why they call it the soul of the foot, right? So it's all in our language, and I think everything to do, and I've thought this for some time, actually have never articulated it as well until now. I've been thinking that's the cause of density and buoyancy is the interplay between the electromagnetic polarities, because I do know for a fact that that is the foundation of our three-dimensional reality. That is what it is, because there actually are not opposites. They're just, something can only be described by its opposite. It can only be defined by its opposite. What's hot? Well, it's less cold. What's cold? Well, it's less hot. Right. So you're talking about two extremes of the same archetypal, eternal concept, principle. Right. So the interplay, when we look at the way it actually works, and like you were just saying, which I did not know, that's good information, but it's like the more contention there is between the polarities, the denser, more solid something is, and the less contention there is between the polarities, the more they rise. Or it could just be, I don't know. Right.
Not bad for a guy with a GED, I'm telling you. You're doing good.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was going to play this. I found this today too. I haven't had a chance to really watch it. Let me just let it play for a second. I got to grind up some more herb.
What if everything we thought we knew about flat Earth was only a fraction of the truth? 1/4 of the truth, to be exact. First, have you seen the moon map projection where they take the moon and map out the dark spots on it, and they'll show that 1/4 is our known Earth, our known flat Earth model. Now, we've all seen the clock in Prague, but I want to point something out. You notice the constellation ring here, and the sun and the moon are actually connected right here in the center, showing that the sun and moon go around this constellation wheel. And some say that this constellation wheel might slowly but surely, over maybe thousands of years, move around this bigger circle. Now, here's where it gets really interesting.
I think it's 72,000 years. I calculated it. I'll look it up. Hang on a minute.
That's the case, and the sun's trajectory is warming this land, but then also moving through 4/4, right? Then that would mean that this area of ice would be melting and the rest would be freezing. So when I ask Google where Antarctica's ice caps are melting, it's the western area of Antarctica. When I ask where they are constantly freezing, they said the eastern region. Where is the eastern region? Everywhere else in Antarctica. Believe it or not, this is how Antarctica is divided. So where is this western region on the flat Earth map? Well, let's just say if this were moving around in a circle, this little part would be the one melting and the rest would be freezing. So then I was looking at the Mercator map, and none of these regions look familiar, but it is weird how they all are in 4/4. A clock is sectioned in 4/4. Several cosmological and mythological systems portray 4 corners or 4/4. In the Book of Enoch, he talks about the 4/4, and several verses talk about the 4/4. Then you look at the definition of quarter, and one is each 4 equal or corresponding parts into which something is or can be divided, right? Then another definition is the place in which you can dwell, a specific place.
Quarters.
Here's what's nuts, though. So this is a quarter, as in 1/4 of the whole area, but then it's also a quarter, the place in which we can dwell. What? So with this generalized idea, what else does it explain? Well, it explains lands beyond the ice wall, extra lands. Maybe not this or this, but maybe it's this they're trying to deflect us from. Also, global warming. A lot of people want you to think that the world is getting sicker. And then you've got your conspiracy guys who say it's just a big old money grab, global warming. But what if it's just the natural cycle of our reality? Every so 1,000 years, this moves into another quarter, causing an ice age? Yeah, it would explain ice ages. Because, I mean, if we're being real, there have been some pretty neat discoveries made of animals in ice, undigested food in their stomachs. It would kind of explain mud floods. Hey, they found old world pyramids and buildings in ice. It seems we're always given partial truths on things. Now, I'm not saying that this theory is one that I believe or disbelieve, but it's interesting nonetheless. Look into it.
Oh, what do you think? What do you think?
validity to it.
What I think is that so like the quarter aspect, he's onto something. His general train of thought is proper for sure, given the available information. But like he needs to do research into so geometry is part of the quadrivium, right? So you have the trivium and the quadrivium. You need the trivium to even be able to convey your thoughts in a complete and intellectual manner. Like you just need that. You know what I mean?
What if everything we
We're waiting. What'd you say?
Oh, so the trivium's logic, grammar, and rhetoric, right? And then so part of the quadrivium is geometry, and all of this stuff has an esoteric meaning to it. And so just to be clear, geometry is not part of the trivium, it's quadrivium, which is the following four. And so the four quarters, as he was talking about, is based on the ancient esoteric understanding that so the triangle is the trivium, it's the three, right? The Father, Son, Holy Ghost, or the Father, Mother, Holy Ghost, or however you want it. It's a creative principle. And what that does is it creates the quadrivium, which is the four, which is a square. So which is why when you get the picture of a house, you get the picture of a square with a triangle on top of it, which makes seven angles, right? Mm-hmm. And with that being said, quarter doesn't necessarily mean what he was saying. Quarters represented by four elements, primarily. We'll just go with that. But the big thing that I think that he's missing is the cyclical aspect of this, which would be part of the quadrivium, which is that I think that it's an ever expanding. Well, if I was to put my own theory forward, I guess, which I'm not saying he's wrong, because I could have no way to know that he's wrong. I disagree with some of the stuff he said, but I do agree with the general premise. And I think back on when Christopher Columbus, or what we're told, the fable of the, Christopher Columb, the dove, all that with the visa, the Column family is incredibly powerful in this realm. And when they all of a sudden got a hair up their ass to go try to establish a spice trade in India, but like how in traveling from Spain would you get to India? Because like, let's all look at a map, right? By traveling west. How would that be the most efficient way, right? Or something that I'm thinking.
You wouldn't have to go around the Horn of Africa. No. That was pretty dangerous.
So you still didn't have to go around the Horn of Africa to get to North America.
No, but to India you would. From Spain.
Oh, you're agreeing, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. That would be fucking retarded, right? Like, why would you do that? So, yeah. So what if, like, and this is just entirely theoretical, probably a crackpot postulation, but what if it's like, when you play a game and you unlock new areas in the map, what if like every so often a new area of the map is unlocked, right? As stupid as that sounds, but there's like people that know that happens. And as soon as it becomes available, they fucking hop over there and inhabit it and colonize it, right? Mm-hmm. Like I've thought about like if the ice wall expands, like if say like the ice wall was inside of, as in like North America was outside of the ice wall, and then some event happened that of course has been removed from history, and it expanded that ice wall to the other side of the Americas, right? And these elite people who have all this knowledge that I have, plus more that we have, plus stuff we could never think of, right? Because they already have it. It's been handed down for thousands of years. and they know that's how it works. And then as soon as it becomes available, they're like, yeah, we're going to India. Right. But they know damn well they're going to this newly unlocked area where it would line up that they find all of these hyper advanced buildings and things already here, right, that are founded, right?
Yeah, I got you. So in other words, some people have knowledge beforehand, like they knew that was there already, but to get everybody else on board, we're going to go to India. Come on.
Or they knew it was already there beforehand, but it was not feasible or possible to go there until this certain change happened. Like if you read the exploits of like Captain Cook and so like on their way to Antarctica, they experienced terrible storm. Like there's all sorts of safeguards put in place around Antarctica to make the average explorer essentially unable to get there.
Oh, it was tough going, dude. Yeah.
Well, what this thing is actually depicting, though, is if you think about this, okay, we got, I think it's 2,160 years in an age, if I'm not mistaken. And what I mean by that is the age of Pisces, the age of Aries, the age of Aquarius. These are 2,160, which is interesting because that's also supposedly the diameter of the moon. Isn't that crazy? Anyway,
if we're even given the accurate
well, that's what they say. Anyway, during this time, it said that our pole is migrating in a path around another pole that within each age it shifts into a different position. Now, for the time for every one of these ages to go by, I think I figured it up, it was like 72,000 years or something like that. So every 72,000 years, that's known as a great year. And this thing keeps shifting like that Antikythera clock as our pole that we are situated around migrates with everything around that center pole. Now, this is just one of the ideas that I've heard. Now, if this were something that was occurring, that would mean that there would be areas of frozen land and shit that would start thawing, and other areas that were not frozen would start freezing as this thing migrated along. Kind of, climate change, but maybe this is part of a cycle that's constantly occurring. But what I can't account for is what the drastic differences between Antarctica in the past and then by 1820. Because we have depictions of Antarctica on maps from the 16th century and 17th century showing Antarctica with flora and fauna. So it's a fucking mystery. This shit sure is a mystery. We definitely have to stay with what we can prove, what we can actually examine. Theories are nice, but you got to have a little more to go with it, with a little bit of sauce.
Well, I'm gonna step off, gentlemen. I'm gonna go start a stream myself. Brian's already taken off. I got 100 subscribers. I'm gonna celebrate that, I guess.
Good job, Roger.
I know.
Hey,
I
listen.
don't know how it happened. Yeah.
Every benchmark's a victory, man.
Yeah, man. Everyone.
I'll take it as that. Yeah.
Well, no, it is. You got 100 people. That's a room full of people.
Yeah, they're not all in at once, so
no, but it doesn't matter. The content that you put out, which is what I try to convey to other creators, is you might have 100 people, 60, 80, 100 plus people in your stream at one time or more if you're bigger, right? But eventually the people who are at work or doing other things or whatever, they're going to watch your stream.
Yeah.
So you influence people.
Yep.
Be responsible.
I will. Don't take it lightly. All right, gentlemen. I'll see you later.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. All right, later.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to close it down here pretty quick anyways. Gone 3.5 hours. I was only going to go 3 hours, but Hey.
It was nice to meet David Foster here, the congressman.
Yes, sir. David Foster comes in every so often, so it's good to see him here.
Are you really running for Congress?
He has, or something. I don't know if he is currently running or if he has ran. I'm
hey,
not.
David, you there?
David
Unmute your
Foster,
mic.
are you still there? You're muted, brother.
You running for Congress, man? No, he apparently is.
Might have drawn off that. Hey, did you know the Truman Show was produced by the Rothschild family?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Isn't that crazy?
Bye, guys.
So that's kind of nuts.
Then, are you about to close it?
Yeah, I'm going to close her up. I'm ready to get off here, man.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so y'all take a look at what I had done earlier. If you missed earlier in the broadcast about the weight and the force, and always let the force be with you. And remember, as long as you got fish sticks, rubbers, and a getaway car, you're halfway ahead of the game. So before we go out of here, we're going to say everybody good night. Oh, Ryan, you got a show coming up?
As usual, Saturday night.
All right, then 10 o'clock.
You're always more than welcome. This time we'll probably avoid the discussion of current politics and just talk about what we ordinarily talk about. But yeah, always more than welcome.
So, all right, that's 10 o'clock Saturday night, 10 o'clock Eastern on Burn the Corporate Fiction. One of my mods, if you could put a link to his channel in the chat, that would be great. And as we always like to say, always remember the Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him. He'll probably fucking kill you. So we'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Good night, everybody.